Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 436 again of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gaming podcast for Words About Games. I'm one of your hosts, Amy K. Alexander. I'm joined this week by the 3-star champ himself. It's Daffod Moody.
And Adora.
Hey, Adora, what do you think of the Switch 2 reveal?
It's good. I liked it.
There we go. There we go.
Topic one, everybody. It is Friday. You know what that means. It's the holiest of all days. It's video game day. Can I get a hallelujah? Thank you very much.
Does he want that from us, or does he want that from the people who are listening?
I don't know. From everybody. Hear me, can I get a
I'm
hallelujah?
not really a hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Vitz, can I get a hallelujah?
Yeah, sure.
You suck.
It's been known.
Adora, can I get a hallelujah? Yeah, you look at the TV that's turned off on the left of me. Okay.
We're also joined this week by the one and only Vitz Patel.
What's good, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well out there in Listerland. How are you, my friends?
Great. This podcast might work, so...
Yeah, this one, yeah. Back at it like a bad habit.
There's a 50-50 chance, who knows?
Like one podcast in years, right? It's not a 50-50 chance, okay? Give me some more credit than that.
Yeah.
Okay, 70-30 that it will fail.
All right, you're fired. Adora can take your place.
Okay.
Yeah, the podcast didn't go out last week because it didn't have any audio, as it turns out. And that was a fun thing to discover while I was trying to edit it. And normally that'd be fine, right? You would just go, it happens. You write the podcast stuff and we'll just do one next week, right? Except it was our Fantasy Critic episode, which we can't redo.
Yeah, we had special guests for this one, and yeah, availability is at a premium.
Russ and Avril, like, they came on, like, they did their yearly appearance on the podcast. It's gone. Didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I feel kind of bad.
Trust us, it was amazing.
It was actually, yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be recapping our Fantasy Critic picks later in the episode. Just the three of us. Apart from that,
some movements happened already on some of our lists. So yeah, we'll see.
The end of the episode, like I think there was it was just me and Russ, or it might have been like, I don't know if you two joined in, where it was just like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna like keep it chill and casual for a little bit, like no. See what happens, see what the movements are. And then I woke up the next morning and I looked at my phone and the list of games being bid on stretched off the screen. And I was like, what the fuck?
So, while you guys were saying that, I was like bidding on games. You can see me literally typing. Well, you could if it was released. You can't.
But trust us, bro.
Yeah. Trust me.
I was typing. I got everything except one game. So...
Yeah, I got everything.
I got everything. Yeah, I got everything that I've been on except one game, which I
think I missed out on a few, but I put a number of bids out there. So yeah, I'm sure we'll get to that later on in the podcast.
Yeah, how's everybody doing?
Yeah, good. We had our very first episode of our game show, Pixel Pop Stars, that went out. It was a success in terms of what I was looking to get out of it, and a lot of lessons were learned. And looking forward to showing how much we've improved when the wonderful Amy joins us for episode 2.
I've been practicing.
And the revenge tour begins for Legally Distinct 90s Game Show.
I've been practicing. Number one, not a fan of the message you sent me midweek, where you were like, oh, well, everybody said the questions were too easy, so we're making them harder for your appearance. Like, yep, that sounds like the Vitz I know. Fucking me over.
That's the feedback I got.
Fucking me
it
over.
Depends on the category. It depends on the category, because, like...
Robin sucked.
Robin picking Elden Ring, like, brave. Like, I've never played that or anything like that, but to hear someone use that as their knowledge wheel, as their category, I'm just like, respect. And like,
it's only ever easy if you know the answer, right?
Yeah, I get that, but like, there's like, even I could tell that this is gonna have so many different connotations all over the place of like what it could be and what it could not be and everything. Yeah. I was just like, you're screwed in so many ways.
The thing about Souls games, because it like you picked From Software, Vitz, I'm very disappointed you didn't throw on a Kingsfield question. The thing about Souls games is like the stories are open to interpretation, And that's the problem when you pick it as your specialist subject in a trivia show, is like the interpretation that you have on the card might not be the interpretation that Robin has in his mind.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes them interesting. That's why I love talking about the stories in them, because like what I got from one thing in Elden Ring might be different from what Vitz got in Elden Ring. But neither's wrong, except when you're doing a trivia show and there's an answer on a card.
The answer on the card, that's it. Yeah, so for context, all of our contestants came with their specialist subject. And then, we had a round that we do at the end of every episode of Pixel Pop Star, Specialist Subject Showdown, where essentially it's we'll go one by one in each person's specialist subject, and they get posed a question. And I said from the off kind of thing, look, it's unreasonable to expect of me that I'm an expert in all of your specialist subjects, like, because we've got lucky enough to have a wide plethora of people come through for the show, and it's kind of, well, I've done my best, and there's learnings to be taken, and they've been taken, and now Saturday will be interesting. So it's Saturday 25th at 7 p.m. on twitch.tv/VitzPatel for the live version of the show. Although if you're unable to make that, then episode 1 is already up on my YouTube channel over at youtube.com/VitzPatel, and there's a handy dandy playlist of all things Pixel Pop Stars as well. You'll be able to watch them there, and especially on the YouTube one, because that now has backing music, which I forgot to do on the stream when I did it live on Twitch.
I didn't even notice. I shouted out, I don't know if you saw it in the chat, I shouted out the like when people got the answers correct, and they were like sound cues from the thing. Yeah. And I was like, I wanted to take the moment to just say I heard that, and I appreciated that very much.
Thank you very much.
Very good. But I've been practicing. I picked a specialist subject with 40 years worth of material.
Which was bold.
Which I
say.
realized during the viewing of Pixel Pop Stars was brave. So I practiced. I had Star Trek Seen It. I pulled that out, and I played that with my parents, and I lost. But that's not the point.
What, are they going to be sat on your bed, like as a lifeline?
Yeah, we can phone a friend, right? Like,
that's it, 100%.
Yeah, I'm not confident. Oops.
I thought it was a lot of fun. Watching it was a lot of fun. I get where you're probably a little bit stressed and everything like that. I can appreciate, but it was honestly a lot of fun.
It's a first time doing it, and of course, as you look back at it, and there's things to improve. But yeah, overall, I had a huge amount of fun, and so did our contestants, and that was the main thing, kind of thing. It's not.
When I was watching, I was thinking, damn, I should have done this. I was saying that to myself, and I was thinking, so maybe when season 2 happens, I'm like, come around for that one and everything. Because I'm pretty sure you're all locked in for everybody.
Run your own game show. No, 100% you can apply to be on
No, but you can be contested. I'm not going to do this. My brain will go all over the place. Dude, you struggled yourself. I did that. There'll just be a fire for me. Dude, no way. No, I would I would aim to possibly come and be a contestant next time. So.
No, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, keep an eye on socials for when the next kind of batch of applications are open.
Yeah.
Season 2, wow.
I can't remember everyone's name, but shout out to the Doctor Who expert who got every single question right. Like, shout out to her. Like, I'm not a Doctor Who expert or anything, so I wouldn't know. I don't even think I would have got any of them. But like, really, shout out to her. Like, that was just like amazing. And shout out to again, I don't know the names. The person who had the MCU one. He did really well as well.
Oh yeah, Simba Jones absolutely crushed it. There was some trickier questions in there as well, and he got the majority of them. The professional wrestling one, that was really tough for me to write because I don't know a Scooby-Doo about professional wrestling. And I thought an apt question would be, what is The Rock cooking? But apparently there's no one answer to that, so there's nothing I can write down on the card to refer to. So
I'm sorry I said you suck, Robin.
I got to do my Macho Man Randy Savage impression, and
if
that's not the symbol of a successful stream, I don't know what is. Speaking of successful streams, we have a congrats to give out, don't we not?
We do. My friend finally beat Melania.
Yes.
on Monday, I was watching and everything. It was great. Chat popped off. We got a hype train going. It was a phenomenal experience. I don't like. I couldn't play the game the way she plays the game. She had a little shield and a sword, and that was it. And I was like, I have all the
Was
footage.
she going for like the buckler parry, that kind of thing, or
Yeah, like the little.
Yeah.
She's got the golden parry like weapon art.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
she's not even using like a weapon art. It's just stab, dodge, parry, and like I was watching back through my footage of Melania because I have all my footage for like video essays and stuff, and I was like, I had my summon, I had my blasphemous blade, fucking shit was exploding all over the place. I was like, damn, respect to like keeping up with it, because it must have been like, I think it was like 6 streams that she was doing it, but she beat it with a parry. Like the final blow was a parry and then a riposte, and it was just like it was a special experience. But yes, there will be no updates. Like, I won't be looking down at my phone going, she's still fighting Melania. She don't still fight Melania anymore. Melania is dead.
Yeah,
she's finally known defeat.
She can rest now. Absolutely.
Shout out to her.
She is playing Elden Ring. She hasn't started yet though. She's doing a guess the game.
Nice.
Elden Ring.
Is that Mega Man?
That's the game.
I have to stop. I have to stop playing the guess the game thing. It's that website, you know, guess the game, where it like shows you like the screenshots and
screenshots, yeah,
stuff. And I'm too good at that game.
That's important to have.
I got bug snacks on like the second or third image, and it was just like, okay, I'm not going to play this anymore because I'm ruining everybody else's fun. Like, we were watching University Challenge downstairs, and like all these fucking questions, and I'm just like, I don't fucking know what the answer is. Like some science questions, there was like some physics questions and stuff, and then like they did the thing in like University Challenge, like a person buzzes in with an answer to a question, and then that's your starter question, and then you get like the 3 questions like of one topic, and I was just sat there like kind of zoned out, and the dude who was hosting was like, okay, so your topic will be video game franchises that were released in 2004, and I just sort of like,
that's the beer can.
Hello. 3 out of 3, baby.
Yeah, so let's hope you activate on Saturday for Pixel Pop Stars. I'm sure you will.
I've been asked so many, like, because like people who know what Pixel Pop Stars are like, you know, it's you get a specialist subject, and people are like, why? What did you pick? Star Trek. Really? Why didn't you pick video games? It's like, I'm not defined by one thing, okay?
I won't lie, I was amazed he didn't pick Stargate.
I thought of that, but then Vitz had told me he'd already started writing questions, and I was like, I guess I can't change now. But next season, if I'm allowed back, I don't know what my shenanigans will get me banned or not on Saturday, but
we'll find out.
If I'm allowed back, right? Yes, Stargate. Obviously, I don't know why I didn't pick Stargate. I was watching Stargate while I was writing my application.
Oh my god, that's like you did a giant middle finger in front of Stargate.
I did kind of, but like the thing is, right? Like I played Star Trek Scene over the weekend, but it was like it's the first time I've played it in years, right? Because like I'm banned from playing this game with Keith and Russell. Like they won't play it with me because like I just shoot off across the board and get all the questions, and then they don't have the knowledge. So I was like, Star Trek. Like if I'm gonna pick a non-video game topic, Star Trek seems like a good one. But it's a
strong topic. I've had other contestants try to kind of convince me to tell them what the other contestants picked to their special subject, because they're looking to revise up on those topics. So if a question is missed, then they can go ahead and steal. Yeah, 100%. But no, it was fun putting these Star Trek questions together. So yeah, looking forward to it.
That's cool. I was very good at the name this thing, or like name this sound when we were playing the scene, and I was like, great. Neither of those things are going to happen on Saturday, but
Star Trek sounds. So you got like the whistle when the captain's on the bridge.
Yeah, there was
you got
the red alert.
The doors of the turbo lift.
Yeah, I guess you got the phaser sounds, but there's like multiple different ones. And,
okay.
And then it was
like
it was name this shit, but it does this thing where it's like wiping in and out really quickly, so you have to like really look at it. Wasn't just like putting your ship up on the screen and being like, "What's that?" Like,
admit it, everyone just scores Enterprise.
That's what happened. That's what happened. But the first one was an Enterprise.
There you go.
But the
I
thing
said
is, you can't
Enterprise.
just shout.
Which one? Don't worry
you can't
about
just
it.
shout Enterprise.
Okay, do you have to go the NX01?
NX01.
The A,
That was
the
the
B,
correct
the
answer,
C, the D, the E, the F.
No bloody
The
A,
G now?
B, C, or D. And that's a
Yeah,
Star
yeah,
Trek
yeah.
reference. Scotty
The one that
said
used
that.
to be
Star Trek:
Titan,
The
and
Next
now
Generation.
rechristened. Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that's not coming up. Classic Star Trek. Classic Star Trek. I chose not to do the new Star Trek because I haven't seen all of the new Star Trek, and I was like, I'll get fucked somewhere along the line. If I just go, yeah, put all of it in
Star
there.
Trek Discovery. Just
Oh,
a
wait,
bit
so
of-
what is your category is classic Star Trek?
Yeah, so from
So,
Captain
TOS
Pike
through
to Captain Archer.
Yeah.
interesting.
If Vitz doesn't sing part of the opening theme for Star Trek Enterprise on Saturday, I'm going to submit this as a topic again and again and again until he does.
Until it happens.
Yeah, I think
I'll join in.
kind of have to now.
I'll
Oh,
join
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Don't worry. No.
What do you
And
think
I
the first
will,
question is,
without
Amy?
not being there,
Been a
I'll just be there.
long road.
Yeah, I'll type it into. I'll get it all prepped to type it in the chat and just
Getting
blast
from
it when you get it in there when you start.
Sick.
The opening that turned into a religion at the end. Turned from a hate to a religion.
It does. It does though, because like when I rewatched Enterprise last year, as you both know, and like at first I was like skip intro.
Wait,
but
what?
Then you get into it. The further into the show you go, and then by
Yeah.
season 4, you're singing along. Like I don't care who you are.
Yeah, it was like me with and the missus with Suits. We smashed Suits last year, and we were just skipping the opening, and then just like about the last, I'd say like season 7, 8, and I were just going dun, 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 like that. I was just like, yeah, go on, Harvey Specter, you sexy bastard, you do that, you lawyer them, and everything. It was just so good.
Fair enough. Managed to catch Sonic 3. Now it's available digitally.
Ah, yeah.
That is a movie of all time. That's for sure.
It's fun. I had a lot of fun with it.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah. Oh, them
No,
parts,
we're not doing
there are
this again.
parts. No. Don't worry. It's not Avatar versus Sonic. This is Sonic versus Sonic here, so don't worry. No, there are parts that I was just like, why? But yeah. Honestly, I just want to ask thing. Jim Carrey, yay or nay?
Yay for what they bought. Everything, Jim Carrey moderation, perfect. This one had a bit too much of him. For the bits that I enjoyed, though, the most enjoyable bits were his bits. For me, at least. Like, everything Sonic says annoyed the heck out of me.
I don't think anyone gives a fuck about these movies for
It's
Sonic.
called Sonic.
They go for Kerry. That's all they do. Everyone comes out of all 3 movies. Jim Carrey's the greatest thing ever. Jim Carrey's the greatest thing ever. Jim, yeah, he's
Tim
the
Curry
greatest
is the
thing.
greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
far
I
as
said
dance
just said
numbers
Tim
go,
Curry. I know. I meant Jim Carrey.
I was impressed with the dance number. I will say
No,
that.
that's funny. Yeah. That was very funny.
Now, if Tim Curry was in the Sonic films, I would watch them.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
To the moon.
Space.
Exactly.
But no. You'd think I would have been watching Star Trek all week, but what I've been watching instead is Yes Minister.
Fair enough.
I thought you were going to say Stargate again.
No. That would be very funny.
This is more counterproductive. Aiming your middle finger at it. Oh.
No, I've been watching Yes Minister.
I did have one contestant email Discord me through the week saying, just remind me what my specialist subject was. 'Cause I
Oh
completely
no!
forgot."
And did you reply back? No.
You know what?
Sorry.
I didn't. I couldn't do that to them.
I would have. Go back through the messages. I'm sure you'll find it. I would have been a dick.
Like, for everybody else who was like, oh, tell me what the other contestants' specialist subjects are so I can study up. It's like, man, you study up on your own specialist subject.
Yeah, you worry about yourself. Don't worry.
You worry about your
everybody
own.
else.
Trust me. Like, that's what I'm doing. Like, you can tell me everybody else's and I'll be like, whatever. Like, I either going to know it or I'm not. He was that random actor in the background of that one Star Trek episode. Because again, Vitz told me he's raised the difficulty.
Yeah, relatively speaking.
Relatively speaking.
For you, maybe
For
the
me,
others,
probably,
maybe
yeah,
not.
just for me.
I'm not
What you
like,
doing?
trying to
What
be
was the star date in the classic Star Trek, the original series episode? Mirror, mirror.
You
I
know,
don't
like,
fucking know. Jesus.
What I will say is, you know how like Q is the most troublesome letter in Star Trek.
Sure.
I'm not trying to reinstate that V is the most troublesome letter in Star Trek for you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not leaving that hard.
We'll find out at the end.
Poison ivy.
After this after Saturday, I guess.
There's a trumpet and a sombrero. Giving it that.
We'll know. Hey, we'll know if it's a success if Vitz turns up next week.
There you go. Or if Amy turns up next week. Cool. Should we do a video?
How about them video games?
How about them video game platforms? Because the theme of this week's podcast is video game platforms, and we're going to start with the thing that happened on the day we recorded the last podcast that broke.
Yeah,
It was a
sign.
It was a curse day all around.
The Nintendo was a sign.
Can't believe it. Nintendo Switch 2. Did you guys know about this? Like Nintendo making a Switch 2? Like,
I'm surprised.
can't believe it. Can't believe it. Yeah, that's happening. This was a topic submitted by one Mr. Moody,
The 3-star champ.
the 3-star champ himself.
The 3-star champ, apparently. But I'm wearing a boxer today. But anyway, it's finally here at long last. I just loved how quiet Nintendo were all about it and everything. They were just like, everyone's just like, everyone like, what was it, Monday, Tuesday? They're doing it. We're doing it on Thursday. That's when it's going to happen. Blah 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 blah, and everything like that. And
Well, did they actually say that? I thought they just surprised.
no, all the sites and everything like and whatnot.
Yeah,
Video Game Chronicles. I think they were. But Nick
noise.
Robinson is his name over there. He's like, I think he was the first one to say, I can confirm it is going to be showing this Thursday. What time? Have no fucking clue, type of thing. And Nintendo just stayed quiet and then just randomly dropped the video on Thursday out of nowhere at like 1 o'clock, I think it was for us in the UK.
I don't know. Something.
1, 2 o'clock.
It was silly o'clock for our American
Everyone
friends.
else.
I thought it was interesting that they moved away from doing it as a YouTube premiere, because one of the things that was happening at the Google offices is that obviously you have to upload your video ahead of time for a premiere.
Yeah.
And someone in the Google offices was getting into the back end, seeing the video, and then leaking all the info out before the thing was happening. So, that's how they chose to do it. This time
Good.
around.
Fuck the leakers. Fuck the video
100%.
game websites. Like the trailer. The one thing I liked about the trailer was it was 2 minutes and 22 seconds long. Like,
Yes.
I see you out here, Nintendo. They made that specifically for me. I'm assuming because that's the kind of thing I would really like.
This is for Amy Kate Alexander, nobody else.
But like, it's like the least excited I've ever been for a new video game console reveal, because I've heard nothing but fucking Switch 2 for like 7 years now.
That's true. I won't lie. And it's got more and more annoying every year. And I think it's got very hype annoying. I would say the last 2.5 years, maybe 3, where you had fucking Grub and everyone else saying it's coming, and it just never came until last week.
Oh well, the leakers are saying that the Switch will have this hardware specification. Oh, the Joy-Cons will have like this little chip thing put in them, and I'm just like, can you just shut the fuck up and let me enjoy these things, like, please? And it turns out no, they couldn't shut the fuck up, let me enjoy these things, which was like what was annoying was when it all kicked up, booted on Monday, and it was like, oh, it's definitely happening this week, and I was like, I can't even say it, like, make fun of this. Like, this sucks. I don't think I ever recovered from the Switch Pro debacle. The entire year of being like, the Switch Pro, they're going to announce it this summer. Whoa, they're going to announce it later this summer. Whoa, they're going to announce it in autumn. And the entire time I was on this stupid podcast being like, they're not going to announce it. Doesn't exist, mate. Don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. So
you know what? It's basically not been like 2.5, 3 years. It's basically been 4, because basically right after the OLED was revealed, it was then, where's Switch 2 now? What's the Switch 2? And everything.
Exactly.
And it's just been non-stop. So yeah, the leakers and everything like that have just been right pains in the asses. And they really just, I'm just going to say this, shut the fuck up. Just stop it. I know it's apparently your job. The job is to get facts. That's it.
No,
Facts
their
and
job is
speak
to get
about
clicks,
news.
Moody. Their job is to get
The
clicks
job
and
is to
clout.
get clicks. Trust me,
Oh,
I found
fuck
that out
I'm
by
sick
hard
of
way.
the clicks.
I agree with you. But yeah, the job description has changed.
That's
It
why how
changed a while
bad
ago.
journalism. This is the thing. It's not just fucking normal journalists out there who are just terrible at their fucking jobs. It's video game journalists who are just terrible at their fucking jobs, and it's just really annoying. Like I'll state this one thing. Like you may get a bad. Sorry, go Vitz.
In many ways, journalists are doing a great job, and they edit out all the bits that people actually don't want you to see.
No, my journalists like video game journalists I think do a really good job. The thing I would say about like the Switch 2 leaks and all of that stuff is it's not journalism. like you know what I mean? Like it's not. Like journalism is the stuff like Jason does when he's, bashing away on his keyboard about whatever video game controversies are unearthed, or Rebecca Valentine's doing over at IGN. Like video game journalism isn't, oh, guys, guess what? The Switch video is coming out later this week. That's not video game journalism. That's just clout chasing, and I'm annoyed. And
that's what I'm saying, though.
That's what things like that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Sorry for putting in for both of you. I apologize for that. Is that for me? It's like there's only two great journalists out there, and there's the ones you've just shouted out. I'm sure there's probably more and everything like that, but everything else is just mostly clickbaity that I don't give a fuck about, and it's really is just an indictment of just how bad journalism in general really is. When yes, I get it. The thing is, we have to get the clicks and everything like that. That's why nobody likes journalism anymore, I think, at the same time, where journalists get a bad rap all a single time. So when you get a great article from Jason and from Rebecca and everything like that, it's mostly, apart from except Jason's, gets kicked to the side and nobody reads it and no one cares about it, whatnot. We care about it because it's something that's important about the video game industry that is 9 times out of 10 an indictment against the video game industry, but something that's important that needs to be talked about. The clicks and everything like that are just so annoying and vexing and just blah, 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 blah. Just word garbage.
Just on a slight tangent on the journalism track, Hassan Minhaj did an amazing video with the Dean of Journalism College in Columbia this week, and he put it up on his YouTube channel. It was a really interesting discussion about how journalism has changed from a person could start a journalism outlet like a newspaper or whatnot when they're 22 and they could work through and they can retire at 65, and the game has changed so much that it's now about how do I make a name for myself, so when I do go to a different newspaper or a different country or a different state, that kind of thing, people already know who I am. So they are then picking the stories to say, okay, this is going to get me recognition, this is going to get me clout, and so on and so forth, to build a brand around me, because it's not necessarily about the words that I put down, it's about the personality of who I am, and that's what people that's it.
I get that.
But what do you actually think of the trailer itself?
Exists.
Yes.
It's a fun little trailer. It's just everything goes bigger. It's what we were all expecting. Basically, it is basically just a bigger version of the Switch and everything, which is great.
Details.
It's really great. I guarantee you, developers in general are like shouting off the rooftops in a happy joy of just like, thank fucking God type of thing, especially if the rumors are obviously of how powerful this thing is and everything, which is like, well, going out there is like a PS4 level, which is great. It is absolutely great. We've been crying out for a brand new Switch because Switch is so weak. It was weak before for when it released, and it was just but now it's just like the Nintendo doing the smart thing of just like what they did with the Super Nintendo. Why fix something that ain't broke? And it ain't. Just improve upon it. And that's all they've done. It seems like, obviously. We'll find out in April, I believe.
April 2nd. 4th.
Yeah, April 2nd.
Sorry.
Which is 2nd. Yeah, April 2nd, isn't it?
4.
Yeah.
Oh, it is April 2nd, yeah.
It's April 2nd.
Oh, is it April 2nd? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's
weird.
We'll find out eventually. But either way, and it's just... it's, for me... If it's everything what we've been hearing, everything like that, it screams fantastic for me and everything. Just for whenever I'm back in a job and working with great teams and everything, and helping get the games on this thing and everything like that. That's super grand and super fantastic for me. I'm looking forward to the games and everything for what is coming and everything. We know the new Pokemon ZA is coming for it. We're guessing it's basically going to be coming for it. Seems like a new Mario Kart and everything. Obviously, it's not properly properly announced because Nintendo didn't say anything. So it's like, it could be. Who knows? You're taking a guess here until they properly announce it. We have no freaking clue.
I mean, looking at what they put down, it is absolutely a new Mario Kart. Now,
yeah, I agree, no doubt.
This might be the time to. We can have a discussion in a second about the games. Let's just speak about the hardware and the rest of the announcement.
It's bigger.
It is bigger. The mouse,
right?
The mouse kind of functionality is strange.
I want everybody to reel their stupid mouse discourse in, right? Because just because the Joy-Cons went zoomy on the surface of whatever the fucking thing was on doesn't mean it definitely has mouse functionality. All right.
Oh, that's better.
So don't set yourselves up for disappointment.
But it could.
I think it's going to be something that's there for people. Some games will use it, and some games will not. It'll be a fad by the end, and that's it at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I think the only people who are actually going to use any of this functionality will Nintendo first party. Ain't no third parties are dialing any of this in.
Same goes for everything. Like when people go to talk about this, no one. It's only the first party for PlayStation.
It is holding up a DualSense.
Sorry, apologies. Thank you, Vitz. It's only the first party games for PlayStation that utilize this. Everyone else doesn't.
Yep, that's true. They made a big song and dance about how the analog sticks move, and hopefully they're now using Hall sensors to reduce the risk of stick drift and things like that, which was a problem with Joy-Cons. And there seems to be a magnetic mechanism now in order to attach your Joy-Cons to the side, which will be, I imagine, a lot more sturdier than the rails that you used to slide in, and they make a satisfying clap sound as opposed to the
little connector on the side of the Switch too. It looks a bit flimsy. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look amazingly
If that
sturdy.
snaps off, then you're gonna have to buy a whole new system. That's not just buying a Joy-Con.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of my takeaways from the reveal. I was like, "Ooh, that looks thin," and a console aimed at children. That looks very thin.
But,
oh no! What do you?
Thought it was interesting that the USB-C ports are now at the top and bottom, which I imagine is for just being easier to charge when you're say in bed, or if you're lying down and using it, so you don't necessarily have to always charge from the bottom of the device, which I think is cool. There were some wacky patents being floated around of an additional screen which would attach to that USB-C port at the top, but that's all. Obviously, this is all hearsay until they actually come out and say something officially. But it looks like an upgrade all round, and I hope that people are ready for like a $400 price point, £400 here in the UK, because I don't think this thing is coming in cheap.
I don't think it's coming in. I don't
think
it's coming in overpriced. I think it's not PS5, right?
I think it'll be $399. The low end $349.
I was going to say I'll stick my neck out, and I think $349, $379. And then obviously bundles and stuff.
Yeah.
And with the new tariffs that are going to get put in the USA, it's probably going to be, say, $699, $799 for them.
That's their problem. So nothing to do with us.
So I don't give a fuck about them.
Fuck about them.
And whatnot. You brought it on yourself, America.
But yeah, no, can I just shout out the headphone jack?
Sure.
One of the banes of my existence has been all phones not having a headphone jack, so I've got to use my stupid little headphones, and you can tell society has crumbled based on the fact that I can leave the house and my headphones can need charging. Guys, we solved this problem 40 years ago. It's called headphones with a little wire.
Yeah, but we need to market and get more money from you, though, Amy.
But you don't, because I just go and buy the fucking wired headphones, and I've got my little adapter for my phone, because I've fucking...
this could be because Nintendo has forgotten about Bluetooth again.
Fine,
so they've
that's
had to put
great.
it-
Let them forget about Bluetooth. If it means I can plug headphones directly into the device, that's fine by me.
At the end of the day, Nintendo's shown with how like slow they are to just upgrading, basically, I guess. They just do by, like we all know, they swing to their own theme and everything. They just like do we need this? No.
They don't. Oh, I don't think
They don't.
The problem.
At the end of the day, are people going to
have
use it at the same time? You know, like say us, like say we all three get it. We play Mario Kart and everything like that. We're going to be chatting through this. Like for the majority and everything, we ain't going to be using it. So for them, it's probably the simpler thing to just keep it how it is.
Like, it would be cool if they had voice chat on board. Like, that was a bit of an own goal. But like, yeah, I mean, take this with a grain of salt. I am the person with a CRT TV in shot. Like, but like, yeah, I appreciate you for the headphone jack. Like, I don't know, what else does that say about a console that had a 2-minute reveal? Like, it was always going to be a trailer. Like, it was always going to be a trailer for a longer direct later in the year.
Yeah, it looks. I've got it up here. It looks super clean. It just looks like just a bigger. It's the what is it the adult version of the Switch, which is still going to be aimed at kids.
Yeah, with like inverted colors of how much the blue and red kind of popped and things like that. But that is absolutely a new Mario Kart title. For my money, it is Mario Kart 10 because Mario Kart 9 would be Mario Kart World Tour, which was the mobile game.
Oh.
And in a long-standing tradition of companies avoiding the number 9 for some reason, we go in Mario Kart X or Mario Kart 10, and
Mario Kart World.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, the level they showed, I think it was like a Yoshi themed one, but it looked like it was out there in Radiator Springs in terms of the wild west, as it were. And we'll see. Hopefully, in due course, that it arrives this year, and we'll get some more information on it. But there's so much more to learn about the Switch, in terms of what will the new Pro controller look like, and will they have any new bells and whistles? Obviously, I expect your existing Pro controller will work fine with the Switch. Like they've historically done really well with legacy controllers working with systems, and being able to get GameCube ports. For people who like to use those controllers for playing Smash and things like that. So, Donkey Kong's got a new art style, which is very similar to the
original
movie.
arcade Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I know everyone's been like, it's the movie Donkey Kong. That sucks. And it's like, well, it's also the original Donkey Kong, like from the 80s.
You suck for not knowing it, motherfucker.
So like, reel it in, man. Reel it in, man.
Yeah, it looked to have 24.
It did. I did
on the track.
Yeah, that's why I think
that sounds like Carnage. Like,
it does.
Holy shit! I want to.
That's why I'm thinking you saying Mario Kart World, Amy's probably spot on.
I'm going to clip that part just in case.
I like the idea that Tim Geddes had when he was doing his predictions bit, that for this Mario Kart, in the same way that Mount Wario was a track, but
Mario Kart Horizon.
Well, in the sense that it wasn't a traditional lap circuit, so it was a point-to-point race. I think all of these are going to be point-to-point races, and you'll just go through different biomes for each lap kind of thing, or each race, I should say.
If they're going to do that would be cool if he could do like all the like you could do like a back-to-back thing, like.
Yeah,
where you just
like an endurance event where you go through like a full
no loading screens. You just like go through the finish line, and then you go through a tunnel, and then boom, you're at the next track, and then boom, you're at the next track.
It's like a warp pipe, and then it just takes you to the next one.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah, because that was my question. Like, I wanted to ask about Mario Kart, because obviously it's the only game that they've shown with the Switch.
Yes,
and it's like I think we had this discussion in brief earlier in last year, I think it was, which was. Like, so Mario Kart 8 Deluxe exists. Great.
Yes.
Has 700 tracks and, like, all of the characters. So, like, where do you go to make a sequel for that game? Like, how do you make a sequel to a game, like, not feel like a step back from what you've already got?
So, to riff off another Tim Geddes thread that he was pulling on, this is Mario Kart 10, or he should have done. Mario Kart 10 or X, and the X could mean crossover. So in the same way that everyone was here when it comes to Smash, we could be in a similar situation. That's how you get more people in.
That's interesting.
I mean,
I won't lie, there's they've obviously done it before, obviously with Smash and everything. That's actually a good. I think that's a pretty decent shout when it comes to the crossovers and everything. Like how they've already shown just from last year alone that they've got some sort of a working relationship with PlayStation in some sort of way. Obviously with the Horizon game the Lego Horizon game that went to them last year and everything. So they've got some sort of a quote-unquote working relationship.
I'm sure Aloy will be ready to give you
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was definitely thinking. No doubt, because that's all that PlayStation seems like they're pushing right now, which is weird.
Hey, you know that it's like, hey, we got Nathan Drake in Mario Kart. You know, like video games' greatest serial killer. Like, oh, good, yeah, this jives with the vibes. But no, they've done it before with Mario Kart. The 2 pieces of DLC for Mario Kart 8 on Wii U were Legend of Zelda and Animal Crossing. I bought both of those DLCs. They were very good. I think the Wii U was a very good console
as well. Yeah.
To answer your question, for me, I think it's just going to be a back to basics, no gimmick Mario Kart game with that is massive. That's going to have a massive online focus with it. With obviously with the hint of like, what was it? What did you say? If it's 24 players?
Yeah, 24
players and everything like that. I think that is going to be the quote unquote gimmick to it, where you can play up to 24 players, multiple online game, with multiple different tracks and everything. And that's why I think that's the main thing they're going to do. Unlike every other game that's basically got different type of driving gimmick. I think it's going to be that. I think it's going to take it back to its roots and do that for me.
Yeah, and we're very much grasping at straws when it comes to trying to get details from this trailer, which, you know, was shown for all of less than 30 seconds as part of the whole 2-minute trailer kind of thing for the Switch 2.
Yeah, it wasn't so much like based on what you saw, what do you think Mario Kart's going to be? It's more just like based on like where Mario Kart is as a series, like where do you think it's going, kind of thing. I don't know. I don't have any answers. That's why I'm
looking forward to actually brand new tracks, because a lot of the DLC that came for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe were kind of reheated leftovers from Mario Kart Tour. And yes, of course, some work went into those, but they had some amazing ones from themed after like Yoshi's Island, which is Super Mario Land 2, I want to say. And that was one of the most beautiful tracks I've ever seen. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with brand new locations as opposed to just tracks that we've seen before, even if there have been in like in mobile games and things like that.
That's fair.
Like they've had over like a decade to really get a new Mario Kart in the thought process properly. So they've I'm sure they've been smashing around ideas like crazy for it. Like, what is it, like next month we're going to see more of the Pokemon game because of Pokemon Day, which is happening, and then it's like 6 weeks after that it's the Nintendo reveal, proper showcase, whatever it is. So
it's too long. That's too long. I don't want to have to listen to all this fucking noise for another like 12
well, this is the thing about it. I don't think you're going to be waiting that long, because like everyone seems to be thinking that it's summer for its release, and if that is, it's not going to be like how it was for Xbox Series X and the PS5 and every other thing taking the entire year.
Now. April's a long way away.
No, I mean I'm just talking about for the Direct. Direct I'd rather wasn't taking so long, because then once the Direct's done, like I don't have to hear any more of these leaks and rumors,
and you can just go off facts.
Insider information. It's like I can just go off of what they say in the Direct.
You can just ignore them and just not read them.
I mean, I try, but the problem is, like, everybody on fucking social media wants to interact with them and, like, talk about them. And I'm just like, man, where's the cat pictures? Can we go back to cat pictures? Like,
I can send you dog pictures if you want.
Please do, yeah. Can you just, like, spam Bluesky with dog pictures?
I will do that. I take so many pictures of her. Yeah, I could. Like, Sophia's been, like, saying, should we create an Instagram for her? And I'll say, well, it's about time we get her paying for something, so I guess why not? We're not. Trust me. We're
Don't
not doing
no.
that.
Like Instagram specifically, absolutely not. No, that the direction that platform is trending. No, don't do that.
I'm true.
But,
I'm not even on that. I haven't deleted my account, but I'm not even on
I
that
locked.
anymore, so.
I locked my account last week and logged out and deleted
Have
the
you
app.
seen that they were doing? You know how like Apple put a YouTube album on everybody's iPhone back in the day?
Yeah.
Uh,
they did the thing with the AI thing, didn't they? Yeah.
No, but
So did Google.
they made everybody follow a certain account of number
Oh
47.
yeah. I wonder
And
if that
if you
me.
unfollow them, it follows you back. Like they put you back onto it. So yeah, the world continues to be on fire. But you know what? Nintendo are bringing back some magic, and
Yeah, it's Nintendo. Yeah.
It's a Nintendo. Yeah. Like when I was watching the developer direct just now before we started and everything, I was watching it through my Xbox's main channel, and I was just like, I won't spoil like what was shown on Developer and what like release dates have happened and everything like that. But I was just saying, yeah, like this year is if GTA comes out, it's GTA versus Nintendo this year. That's it. Nothing else matters, I think, for a lot of people for it. And I'm just like, yeah. Nintendo just like Mario Kart, like from our pizza bet that you will not see. Mario Kart, new Mario, a new Mario, 3D Mario, Pokemon, and what was the other one? Metroid. Taking on GTA. And
I think I'm getting a
bring
pizza out of that bet. Yeah, I think I'm getting a pizza out of that bet. But we'll see. I feel like I'm racking up the pizza bets, and I need to back off. Like I don't want to have to like give you buy like 10 pizzas in January. Just like shit, I lost all my pizza bets.
I'll lose the weight and you just gain it.
Fuck. Yeah, no, it was a fine trailer. There's not a lot of meat on the bones of it, which is exactly what I was expecting. Like the original Switch, it was that trailer where they were playing basketball and they were on their rooftop parties and stuff, and it was like it was more that trailer had more information in it just purely because the Switch was very new. So it was like, shit, like it's getting across the concept of a hybrid console, whereas this is just like, cool, it's a new one. And
I went back and watched that trailer for the original 2017 reveal trailer for it. It might have been 2016.
Yeah.
And you got your man there and he's playing Breath of the Wild and whatnot, and then
it's crazy trailer.
His enormous dog was like, okay, it's time to take me out on a walk. And he's like, all right, then let's go. And then you just sits on the bench and then plays on his Switch, and the
dog's running around like fucking all over the place, and he's just like Breath of the Wild. And I mean, to be fair, Zelda, you know, who can blame him?
I get it.
But yeah, no, it was a good trailer because it properly communicated the concept of the Switch, and it was also very stupid. So like it had everybody talking about how dumb all of the scenarios that the people were finding themselves in were. So like they played a blinder with it.
That the dog got the short straw that day.
Yes.
This is not what I meant, taking me out on a walk, dude.
Fuck off! I'm trying to kill Ganon. But
Fine,
no,
I'm gonna poo over here, and you're gonna have to pick it up.
I think I think they've communicated that it is just another Switch, which is great. Yes. I think that was the thing that they needed to communicate. And then, but do I think like there's going to be other things with it, like weird Nintendo touches? Yeah, I think there's going to be like a few things that Nintendo are going to pull out where they're like, and then you can do this fucking crazy ass thing with the Joy-Cons or something like that. You know what I mean? Like because it's still Nintendo
or something like that.
It's still Nintendo, like, and I still expect that from them. And like you were saying, like this is the adult Switch, and I'm like, probably not. It's still Nintendo. There's gonna be some stuff like the HD Rumble thing. I remember where he was like, it's like shaking ice cubes in a glass of water. It's gonna be like, there's gonna be like touches like that are gonna make it feel like Nintendo.
The adult one may be the wrong term of phrase. The more grown up one, as if that's a better one.
Nintendo Switch XXX After Dark. That's the new sound when you put the Joy-Cons on. It just goes whoosh, like a whip.
Introducing Pokemon
Bondage. We got the whip sound from the app that everyone used to use in that one day.
You've heard of Pokemon XY. Now it's time for Pokemon KY, if you know what I mean.
Pokemon S&M.
Pokemon S&M. Let's go.
You thought Gardevoir was ready for it?
Now everybody's
Rules
going to get the
34 's gonna have
chance
a
to
field
be
day that day.
Ash's daddy.
I'm looking forward to seeing how or what information, if any, they say about how original Switch games run on this thing. Does it run any better? Does it run the same? That kind of thing. They had their disclaimer to say the large majority of titles are forwards compatible and things like that, and the exceptions will be when it comes to like Ring Fit Adventure and stuff like that. So peripherals which fitted the original style of Joy-Cons and things like that. So they won't be directly compatible, but you bet your bottom dollar there'll be another.
The Ring Fit 2 coming.
Yeah.
We know
Labo
this.
and Ring Fit. Yeah, it'll just be
Yeah.
because of the new Joy-Cons, right? Like,
Yeah. That's all. Yeah. Like you'll still be able to
same
play like
parts
Pokemon
fit,
Let's Go and everything. So
yeah, the carts have the same shape to them. The cartridges, they probably taste the same as well. And Amy, you got to try it.
no.
we'll get Medforce back on. He did the last time, so we'll get him back on for that one.
I'm doing it. Everyone was like, you eat these Tide Pods. And I was like, why? Lick your Nintendo cartridges.
We'll put that on the marathon
No.
Switch
I am not licking a Nintendo Switch cartridge, even for charity. Even I have my limits.
If you do that on Twitch, you probably get down to TOS.
I'll do it, because they'll make it the most awkward fucking thing you've ever seen in your life. Like there'll be like mood lighting, there'll be music,
noises and all
there'll be
sorts.
noises. It'll be the noisiest Switch cartridge licking thing you've ever. And I'll just make it so awkward, no one will want to watch it, and then you'll all
There'll
be
be a
sorry.
saxophone in there too. But yeah, Switch
Barry White.
My darling guy. But yeah, more Switch 2 news coming later on this year.
Yeah. Can we just
in
chill
early
on the
April.
Switch 2 leaks, rumors, insiders, whatever? Let's just shut the fuck up for a few months and let everybody
we don't
have
need to
some
hear
peace.
from anybody's uncle who works at Nintendo no more. Just let them speak.
Let's just enjoy some video games.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposedly here for. Right, let's do a little bit of an indie game of the week into Vitz tells you about Pixel Pop Stars again. I guess. That's not
There's a lot
indie
of that going
game of
around.
the week. Yeah. That's not indie game of the week. This is indie game of the week. This is the thing we do every week where we talk about a cool looking upcoming indie game that we think looks cool, and you should go and wishlist it on Steam, because wishlisting games really helps small developers out. Gets their games on pages, front pages, and algorithms boosted and all that stuff that I don't understand. Like, they just tell me...
helps with publishing and all sorts, in terms of they can take these wishlist numbers and say, hey, look at the interest we have on our game. And that can get them additional funding or even new funding.
Yeah, they just go, hey, this helps. And I go, okay. I just believe them. That's how it works. And this week's indie game of the week is called The Mermaid Mask. Magnus Mortuga has been killed, the captain of the world's strangest submarine. He was found in a locked room with an ancient stone cauldron, unsealed and opened for the first time. How did he die? Was it a curse? Perhaps one of his eccentric crew? Or does the bizarre truth run deeper? I got some bullet points here that I want to read. Every clue is a fully realized 3D object waiting to be examined for hidden secrets. Grimoire and Sally are back. Didn't know they went anywhere, but that's fine. And joined by a fully voiced cast of mysterious suspects. The game also has a hauntingly beautiful original soundtrack performed by the Budapest Art Orchestra, and you get to explore every hand-painted inch of the Mortuga submarine, where not all is as it seems. I messed up that last sentence, but here's a bullet point added by Amy. This is being developed by the people who made Crow Country, one of Amy's favorite games of 2024.
Sold.
I was like, I went on the store page because I got my big list, and I was just looking, and I was like, Mermaid Mask, that sounds interesting. And then it was like, developed by SFB Games. And I was like, the name rings a bell. Click the thing. Yeah, I clicked the thing, and it was like, Crow Country. That's why that name rings a bell. One of my 2 platinums from last year. This looks cool. Very cool art style. Cool game. Developers got a track record of making bangers. So, links are in the description, wherever you choose to get them, if you like indie games. scroll on down to that description. We've got a Steam curator page with well over 100 games for all of our previous indie games of the week. You can click on that link and you can just start scrolling through. See so many good indie games. Wishlist, buy, do whatever you want to do. But
100%.
it's worth doing. And that's that. The
Right,
Mermaid Mask.
Yeah.
Let's have a little bit of a halftime break. What do you say? It's a treat.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Sounds good. We'll be back in a moment.
Peace. What's good, everyone? My name is Vitz and I've been working on something special. It's time for Pixel Pop Stars, the all-new game show on Twitch. Let these platforms beyond with your specialist subject. Watch new episodes live on twitch.tv/VitzPatel.
And we are back.
Hell yeah, we are.
Elden Ring update. My friend's fighting Mog. You know, say no
Good luck
more.
to them. Nahil.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say. I mean, I didn't fight him the first time I played it, and then the second time I played it, went down and won. That's all I'll say.
There you go. Get that
It's because I was shouting at your heel.
To be fair, like, yeah, no. I mean, I'd seen speedruns of the game by that point, so
Yeah.
like, I knew what was gonna happen. But yeah, podcast,
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now.
PlayStation, they've been up to some shenanigans.
Yeah, they sure have.
Yeah. So, a couple of years ago, when Jim Ryan was at the helm of PlayStation, and they're at least blamed. I'm not sure if the directive came from them exclusively, but they kind of took the flak to saying, you know what makes a lot of money? Fortnite. We want that Fortnite money. So why don't we make a bunch of live service games? And it'll be great.
How many was it?
Don't worry about it.
10.
12.
12.
It was 12.
Fucking hell. What a dip. What a dipshit.
And in recent weeks, it's come to light that nearly all of them have been cancelled. So this week, we learned that Ben Studio, who last developed Days Gone and brought that to market, and Bluepoint, which was the studio that did the Demon's Souls remake and the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection and remade Shadow of the Colossus, they were working on some live service games and they have been canned. There was also reports of a Horizon MMO title which had been canned. That doesn't appear to be the case now, according to the developers, because they still put out job listings for them. And also, any discussions about whether it's going to be cancelled or not was coming from the developer side, as opposed to Sony to say this isn't the strat. We'll get to Horizon in a sec, but to go through the Ben Studio, so they were working on a live service title, and that has now been canned, and it's kind of right. Well, Ben Studio has nothing to work on. They weren't necessarily prototyping anything in the works in the back end. I'm not sure they had like two teams in order to have one project spinning up while this was in full production and things like that. The developers of Ben Studio says it, quote, still plans on creating cool shit, end quote, following Sony's decision to cancel its unannounced live service game. There was misreports going on that the teams at these studios only found out the same time as everybody else did when it went live on social media, and Jason Schreier was doing his reporting on this story. This appears not to be the case. The one I want to get into more is Bluepoint. So for a lot of people, Bluepoint we were heard that they're working on something original. And this was exciting because they've been doing remakes and remasters, and they've been really, really good at them. And everyone was on them to do a Bloodborne remake. In a recent interview with Shuhei Yoshida, who has left Sony, their feelings were that people haven't really touched Bloodborne and outside of FromSoft because of respect for Miyazaki and them not wanting anyone to kind of touch their baby, for a better word. But the people who make these divine decisions of everyone's going to do live service now, they had them working on a God of War live service game. Now, when I think of God of War as a live service multiplayer developed by Bluepoint and the talent that they have, none of that makes sense.
I think I added some commentary into the thing I typed up where it was like,
thank God,
that sounds grim. Like,
if you'd asked anybody else outside of the exec level at Sony PlayStation, they would have told you exactly the same thing. That is one of the worst ideas you could come up with. So let's just break it down for a second. You've got God of War, this amazing, with 2018 and Ragnarok, you've got this amazing single player experience where you are one of the most iconic characters that PlayStation has in its roster in Kratos, and you're having their story with Atreus and the pantheon of the North gods and things like that. We had a multiplayer God of War game. It was called Ascension, and nobody gave a flying fuck about it. Nobody. And yet these people decided, you know what, it's time to bring that back. And it's kind of, what did they expect to do? Because you can't all play as Kratos, so you're going to be some no-name person.
No one will play as Kratos. I mean, that would be the thing, right? Like,
this is it. And so, yeah, and then listening with this and everything that's going on with Bungie and their cancel projects and whatever the hell's happening with Marathon. And last year we had Concord, which came out for 2 weeks, and then got pulled from shelves. We've got Haven Studios making Fair Games, which I don't think is going to ever come to market, and this will be another title that Jade Raymond famously hasn't brought to market. And it's one of these where I'm sure that's a record that she wants to get off her back, kind of thing. But if this is a direction that they're going with, it's just not going to work. And it does seem that Sony has just been going around, and now that Helmut Hurst and the other gentleman who's at the top of PlayStation, whose name escapes me at the moment, has just been going around to all the studios to say, right, okay, what have you been working on? Knock that shit off, because we can't have another Concord on our hands.
Hideaki Nishino.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so it was just interesting that in terms of the high-profile developers that Sony have in their stable, and Bluepoint being one of the flagship ones, in terms of they acquired these people. It wasn't just ones that they had and they're built up, and for them to, this might be too harsh a word, but for them to have their talents wasted on a project like that is ridiculous. And this is off the back of Naughty Dog looking to make a Last of Us multiplayer live service game, and then them figuring out in that weird statement of, they'll have to change the whole makeup of the studio, because it came as a surprise to them that you have to support a live service game after the fact. You can't just release it and then
can't just have three guys in the basement be like, they can keep this thing going while everybody else makes like Intergalactic or whatever the next game is. But I don't think waste is a strong word, because like, obviously, when I was reading all this stuff, and in preparation for the podcast, my main reaction was just like, man, what a waste of a fucking generation for PlayStation. Like, you get some good games come out of the gate. Demon's Souls,
yep,
and Demon's Souls remake, Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, like some good stuff came out. And then it's like, the question is, cool, so what's next? What's like the big stuff?
Yep.
And then it's like, it's all this live service stuff that is now being cancelled. And there's this huge black hole of just like, so what is next for PlayStation? Because like you're listing off all the studios that have had like their games cancelled or like whatever. And it's like, cool. So like, who's left to make something? But also, what a waste of like all of this art and passion.
Yes.
That all of these developers have like put into all of these different games, and nothing is going to come of it. Like, what was the point of the PS5 generation? At the end of the day, for anyone, for us as
100%.
game players, for developers as like art, or like as developers as artists and creators, like what the hell was the point of all of this?
and again, it speaks to, and it's something we've gone about when we come to every single talk about layoffs and stuff. It comes to an abject failure of management.
Yeah.
Looking at the resource that they have and allocating the wrong spaces because they're all about, oh, we want this Fortnite money. It has to be infinite growth. It has to be double-digit growth year on year. And like they've even had multiplayer co-op experiences at Insomniac get canned because they were working on like a co-op Spider-Man experience. And like there was a Twisted Metal project with Firesprite, the people who did the Horizon VR game last. And it was one of these where it's just wild. And to your point in terms of what are they working on, and we don't know anything that's coming apart from Ghost of Yotei. And like we know that Intergalactic has been announced. We don't know what platforms it's coming on. You would imagine it's coming on PS5, and then there'll be a PS6Q as well. But outside of that, we don't know anything. And it's kind of to your point, the length of time it takes to develop a game now, and many of these will coming from pre-production, and it'll be in the brainstorm workshop phase in terms of, oh, okay, here's some ideas, let's take these to Sony and go and pitch these ideas in order to get the funding in order to make these projects, and not all of them are going to succeed. And the back half of this generation for PlayStation 5 is going to be, one for a better word, barren. And to what we were discussing about last year, when it comes to a PlayStation 6, all of these games are also going to have PS5 SKUs because that's where the install base is. And in this generation upon generation, in terms of, oh, there's a PS5 now, a PS5 Pro, but it's all incremental. And PS6 will be incremental as well. You won't need to buy a PlayStation 6, which is good for us because we already happen to have PlayStation 5s. But yeah, it's just a huge waste and a huge letdown, and it's something I posted in Discord. And Jim Ryan should be forced to give back whatever golden parachute he got from Sony, and all that money should go back to everyone who's been impacted and will be impacted by their shoddy calls that they made.
PlayStation 5 is the worst console generation PlayStation I've ever had, and that's taken into consideration PS3 with how much of a garbage fire that went out for a lot of people. I think PS5 is just going to look back with what they leaned into from the beginning, like saying they're giving us great games with great story-based experiences, with great gameplay and everything like that. That was basically what we were touted. A year after that, it was nothing but they were screaming for is live service games, which is a fad that died off from a takeaway from the big games that are still going and everything like that. The Fortnites, the Call of Duties ones, Siege, and a couple of more. I said a couple of more.
Yes, Sea of Thieves.
It's still going. I'll give it credit. This was never going to land. Every company has tried it. EA tried it, died, literally shut the game down. Ubisoft have tried it multiple times.
Yeah.
And they've closed every single game, shut it down. That doesn't exist anymore. And the only one that Ubisoft have a game that works for them, and that's Rainbow Six Siege. It's just like it's a game that sells and does incredibly well for them, and for some reason they completely ignore it. I know, different tangent, back to PlayStation, and PlayStation have done it, and they went hardcore and did 15 games, I believe it was, or 12. Thank you very much, Vitz. 12 games, and to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 of them have released. 1 is dead. Died within literally 2 weeks. The Bubble game, I think that's still going, but that was more Square. That's Square Enix one, but even they've tried it and they've failed at it as well. But I don't, and they've even shut the game. There's certain games down. I don't know if that Bubble one.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if that Bubble one is still going. I can't remember what it's called though. I apologize.
No, Foam Stars is being taken offline, I believe, in February of this year.
There we go then.
Yeah.
If that is correct, yeah. There we go. Every company has tried it. And they've all closed, and every game has either been cancelled or has died. And this is the thing about it. I'll give credit to Xbox. Xbox, they've prioritized a lot of just getting games out. Yes, there's a lot of them very samey and everything, and yes, we've given them a lot of bash last year and everything, but they're just throwing out games. They just had a developer direct, which was nothing but about on single player games, which apart from one, but correct that. Expedition 33, whatever. That I think is a giant online game, but the rest were single player games, which is fantastic, and that's and shout out to them. And all of their games, apart from I think the simulator, were all single player games for the most part and everything. They've just prioritized doing that, and that's congratulations to them. PlayStation went full bang into it, and it's done nothing but delayed games from all their great studios. Like, we're probably not going to get not Last of Us, Naughty Dog's next game until probably the end of this cycle. Go, Amy.
Two corrections.
Two corrections. Yes, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Foam Stars isn't shutting down, but at the end of this month, it's getting its last update, ironically called The Party Goes On, and then they'll have no further updates.
Yeah,
basically shut down. They're just ignoring it for the rest of it.
Well, it's just like any other, it's like any other multiplayer game from before the live service bubble, where it's like, cool, we're done. It's done. Play it and have fun. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is a single player JRPG.
I was gonna say.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yes.
Fucking hell! I actually might play that game then.
Yeah, no, it's like it's pitches. It's like a big budget, like throwback to like the old JRPGs. Yeah.
It screams a massive online game. I'm not gonna lie. I just watched the trailer of it.
You just gave me a heart attack. So I was like, I'm super excited for this game. Please don't tell me it's an MMO.
No, it screams of it. I won't lie to you. So okay, thank you for correcting me there. But either way, that's even better than nothing. But was nothing. It was the developer direct was just 4 single player games. Yeah. That's fantastic. And that's what. And I'm not saying multiplayer and giant MMO games don't have a place in the gaming sphere. We know they do, but they are when it comes to the success of those games, they are very minute. Yeah. And everything that keep on going that have done very well. Fortnite, the Warzone, Siege. There's other ones, but they're not coming to my brain right now. But they are very they are very small and minute. Everything else is giant, is single player games for the most part, and everything. So like, they really need. Why PlayStation decided to go? We're gonna ditch our bread and butter, which is just giving great story-based games, which was the thing they ran on in PlayStation 4, making it one of the most successful consoles ever for them. To throw it out the window is insanity to me.
Yeah. It's well-worn territory that we've tread in terms of even if you do have an absolute banger of a live service game, you're also trying to break up a happy home of the relationships the players currently have with the live service game of their choice, kind of thing, in terms of whether it's a Minecraft or a Fortnite or whatever it happens to be. And it's a thing.
Thank you.
There you go. That's the other one. In terms of you're trying to pull them away from something they're already invested in, not only in the sense that is their social space, that's where they go to hang out with their friends and whatnot, but also monetarily in terms of they've invested in those ecosystems to buy skins or whatever happens to be, and you're trying to break up a happy home, and that's a challenge within itself. And outside of like a Polyphony Digital working on a Gran Turismo 8, which I imagine they are, and that may release towards the end of the PS5 generation. And when I say that, I mean before a PS6 hits the stores. I imagine they'll be continuing to manufacture PS5s for a good long time yet, kind of thing, because PS6 was going to be, well, God knows how expensive that's going to be. But outside of Polyphony Digital doing that, I can't think of many other studios who we know. So Insomniac, we know that they're working on a Wolverine game, potentially a Venom title as well. Outside of that, I'm not sure if we know of any inklings of anything else which are coming down the pipeline. And Guerrilla will be working on a number of Horizon games, and they'll be like the Monster Hunter 1 and Horizon 3, but Horizon 3 I see as a PS6 title now.
Oh yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
It's not been that long.
So
Yeah, because you've got to factor in the scale of time it takes to make games of this scale at the point we're at right now, where it's like it's not
7 years and $300 million, right?
It's not like you can bang out like a new big budget game in like 2-3 years like the old days. It's like, you know, you're not going to get like a full trilogy of games like on one console like you could back in like Xbox 360, PS3 days. It's like now it's like you get one shot. Like if you're making these types of games, maybe two if you're lucky.
I can see Team Asobi coming back with another title for PS5.
Sure, but that's the
outlier. 100%.
That's the outlier. That's like the exception to the rule that should be the rule. Where it's like, hey, you know, like make your Intergalactics and your Horizons, right? That's cool. Like you know, you made those games for years, but like you fill in the gaps with like Astrobots, and if you're lucky, it'll pop off like Astrobot did, where it's like fucking everybody loves it. It's selling, like, I imagine, beyond their wildest expectations. Like, game of the year, every fucking show, like, everybody's calling it, like, one of the best games of, like, you know, the last decade and stuff, and that's awesome. But, like, where's your next one?
Yeah. The one saving grace that Sony does have is the fact that they have an install base, and that's why people go for the third-party games as well. So, like, a Monster Hunter Wilds will be a huge seller on PlayStation for them.
Sure.
And, for any, like, live service elements that has with downloadable content and microtransactions and whatnot, Sony will be able to take, I believe it's 30%.
30%.
Or of the cut of those transactions made, and that will help kind of plug in some of the gaps when it comes to their kind of first party mainline bangers when they have to be at this point. But again, we don't know what they are. We need a Sony showcase to say, even if you don't have anything to show per se, just in terms of, okay, here's the roadmap in terms of you're beginning, release 2026. Here we've got 3 titles in 2027, another 3 in 2028, and even if we have these studios are going to drop something here, there, and then.
I think that's dangerous. That's a dangerous game to play, because you set expectations by doing that, and when all of those games don't come out when the majority of those games are overpromised or slip, it's like then you've created negative feedback that you didn't need to create.
Well, okay, I agree with you then in terms of your reasoning. So what if we just had a showcase that didn't necessarily have dates attached to things, but just says these projects are in the works?
You're just gonna have, like, if I'm PlayStation, you're just going to have to rely on your third-party stuff. You're just going to have to hope that, you know, things are cooking, and then you can sprinkle in a Ghost of Yotai, like, or whatever else, like, is coming in the future, Gran Turismo, let's say. Like, don't fall back on, because this is what PlayStation used to do, and it was very tiring. Like, it made for some great E3s, but it was very tiring, where it was like, check out this fucking game, and everyone was like, oh my god, that looks amazing, and it's like, doesn't come out for 4 years.
It's like Galactic.
It's
going to be. I'm guessing we're not going to see that for at least 3 more years. I'm taking a guess there. I hope I'm wrong, Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann. Please, if it's coming out even sooner, fantastic and everything. But yeah, for me, PlayStation, shut the fuck up, stay quiet. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Go to Summer Games Fest. If you've got something you want to show, which is Ghosts of Yohai, go do that. And if you want to maybe tease something for what's, say, 2026, do that as well. And then show again at the Game Awards and everything like that. Just stay quiet and stay the hell out of the way right now, and just you stay in the background and you just do what you want. Get back to what worked for PS4. There's no ifs, ands, or buts for me. Just get back with what worked. Get your teams back working on great story-based IPs, and then focus on your support on your third-party support and second-party support with helping the games getting developed, getting great options from third-party supports for your players on your consoles, like you were doing. Like with the Fortnites and everything like that. How you've got Xbox games coming to your console, you're getting a 30% cut. Freaking like push that. Like at least I would be pushing that. Like I would even say, yo, Xbox, you want to help with getting Indiana Jones to get some hype that's coming to our console? Fucking yeah, let's talk and we'll get this working. Because at the end of the day, Xbox want their games to sell. best thing to do, get the PlayStation marketing behind it, because they are some of the best when it comes to pushing a game like hell, like crazy for it. And if they're behind it, the PlayStation fan base are going to be behind the game and everything, and that's what you want. And you just crack on right now. That's what you do. I hate what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. We know more layoffs are going to happen because of this freaking thing, because of these stupid, incompetent mismanagement of dipshit who left, Jim Ryan. I agree with what you're saying, Vitz. Give us your golden parachute back and put it back into PlayStation, or to the teams who are going to lose people because of your incompetent leadership.
Yeah, Ben Studio is 100% getting shut down after Days Gone, and then this live service game which has been cancelled now. And if I imagine they would have already pitched a Days Gone 2, and that would have got shut down, which is why they were put on this live service project.
I remember reading it.
Yeah, I'm scared as hell for Ben Studios. Do not deny that whatsoever. I agree with what Greg said before over this week and everything. I cross my fingers and hope that they don't.
100%.
And everything, but I also will, and I will also I won't be surprised if we hear by the end of the year or something like that throughout this year sometime. Maybe.
Yeah,
I hope. I'm touching wood. I am caressing the wood on my table right now that this does not fucking happen and everything.
Yeah, they made similar noises about Concord and that team in terms of when that game got taken offline and taken from store shelves. It was like, well, we're keeping we're going to reallocate and we're going to put them on different projects. And then 2 weeks later, they had the whole studio shuttered.
Well, I mean, Jim fucking Ryan visited PlayStation London, and then a week later shut them down. Like, you know, like it's not like PlayStation
They made that
don't have
cakes and
careers.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, like it's we don't even know, we haven't heard from a lot of studios and everything like that, so we haven't heard from what Santa Monica's doing. We know
Ori Barlog's is bringing his game. He's
got a game. Yeah, we know this. We don't know what it is. I'm surmising. I'm praying to God that it's a single player game. That's a story based single player game. That's right up his alley with great characters and everything like that. And hopefully, you got to think that's got to be close to be getting shown. Hopefully. It's up to them when they want to, and everything. I get that and everything, but maybe because this was getting worked on when Ragnarok was getting worked on, so it's like going off from how the life cycle is these days and everything like that. You got to think it's about halfway through its life cycle. Again, don't know. Who knows when there was full on production for this game? I don't know that. I am just taking a guess of what we've heard and everything, and what we know from the internet and everything. We don't know what Housemarque has been working on of late and everything. They haven't done a game for a good few years now. I'm surmising they could be having something ready soon, at least to be shown.
They have said it's not Returnal 2, but they are working on something new.
That's fantastic. That's great. They need that right now. This generation's been nothing but freaking dead live service games and sequels, which have been some great sequels. I loved Ragnarok. I had a hell of a time with Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales. Ratchet. I haven't touched Ratchet, so I need to actually get onto that, have a look at that, because I heard that was really good and everything. But it hasn't been the greatest of generations and everything. And remakes or remakes to their games that they just released last generation and everything.
Hey, they keep the money rolling in those teams paid.
No, it does. At the end of the day, I get that, but that's
why you don't hear me complain about it almost as much as I want to.
There you go. yeah. There's no doubt. Yeah, but it's. PlayStation 5 is I love the thing. People hate the look of it. I love the look of it, and I love the console. But it's a console that
it will go down as wasted potential.
It's funny because you mentioned the PS3 before, and it's always that thing of we look back on things, right? When you're in the moment, it's hard to know what kind of legacy something's going to have. I'm sure in the beginning of the PS2, generation, the first year of PS2 and stuff, nobody was sitting here going, this is going to go down as the greatest console of all library of all
60 million
time.
units sold.
100%. You look back on the PS3, the launch was bad, the launch was rocky, the console architecture didn't do anyone any favors, but you look back on that console now, that's think of the games that came out on it, the Ratchet and Clanks, the Uncharted, the Last of Us. It has a banger library, so you look back on PS3 and go, damn, they were cooking, and we're gonna look back on PS5 in 10, 15 years and be like, what happened? Where are all the games? Returnal was a good game, Ratchet was a good game,
the first 3 years they've had some really good games. And yeah.
Yeah. Indiana Jones, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna be talking about Xbox games being like holding the fucking console up.
But they shouldn't be offended by that. At the end of the day, they just need to properly course correct and just go back to what made them cook. And that's what Nintendo do. Nintendo don't say anything, and they just keep on cooking and crack on games, and people love them, and they just go along with their business. Drop a little video of their new console, and walk away and tell everyone to fuck off and see you in April.
Yeah, Nintendo are fantastic at making games people that like their fans want, whether their fans know that they want them or not. Like think about like F-Zero 99, which is still going. Like people didn't know they wanted that. People still play it. Mario Party being like one of the best-selling games on Nintendo Switch. It's like, you know, like PlayStation and Xbox would never think to release a Mario Party game. Like, and it is one of their best-selling games. Like, and it's a fucking great game. And they don't they don't like fundamentally change the wheel with each iteration of Mario Party, but people still buy the fuck out of Mario Party every time it comes out. And
I think there is a PlayStation Party coming though from Saba.
That would be cool. Like, I would like to see what a game like that would look like. Like, you know, they talked about live service games, and it sounds like what they've done is they've basically gone, okay, so this type of online games makes billions of dollars, which I'm just going to take. Then this is a copy of Incredible Crisis. It would be awesome if they made another Incredible Crisis, but pretend this is like Last of Us or God of War or something. We're just going to take this thing that people like and staple it on. Exactly. And it's like, you've got PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Like you've got talented people who could probably come up with really cool ideas for live service games that aren't just like thing that is popular stapled to other thing that is popular. Like the strategy was obviously fucked from the get-go because you don't make 12 live service games all at once. That's absolute insanity. But like, it doesn't seem like there was a lot of thought put into it. Like, I can only assume it was a mandate, right? It was like Bluepoint didn't go, we've got a great idea for a God of War game. PlayStation were like, God of War is really hot right now. Make us a God of War live service game.
They just walked out of that meeting fucking crying.
Yeah, Bluepoint were just like, well, fucking great.
So, the one thing that, I don't want to say safe, but the one thing that can reduce the damage is if Polyphony Digital come out with Gran Turismo 8. So I think as of last year,
he just had to bring Gran Turismo in somehow, didn't he?
Having said that, I have rationale. So as of last year, Gran Turismo 7 has sold over 12 million copies, which I think is more than any other PlayStation title to date. And I might be wrong there.
5.
And,
PlayStation 5 title?
Yeah. I mean, it was cross-gen as well, so that probably does skew things a little bit. But for the much stickers we Gran Turismo, and it's all warranted, people still buy those games, and it's one of these that could be one of the titles which kind of can, or at least has a shot of making back its development cost money.
And one final thing on me: lower the price enough. Get the price under $3.99. Get down to $3.99. Enough of this bullshit PlayStation. I mean, just the base. I don't give a fuck about the Pro. Just get it down. Like people, they're not going to agree with what you do. You're waving, you're shaking your head there. I get it.
Shaking my head at something else. They should definitely lower the price. Okay. Like, it's time for a price cut. Like, one of the reasons that like consoles sell like as well as they do is because, like, you know, when you get to the middle of the generation, you cut that price. You let people in here.
They did the opposite. They raised the fucker and then released a bigger SKU, more expensive. Everything they're doing right now is doing nothing but give them L's, and they need to stop that. They need to start thinking positively, and they need to go out and just say, boom, base console, the thin version one, $3.99, bang, get it out the way.
The slim is that. Do you remember when when the PS4 Pro came out and says this is going to be what the PS4 used to retail at, and the PS4 now retails at $100 less or whatever it was, or $50 less. Those were the times.
Those were the times. Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, 14.89 million copies sold.
Okay.
I thought I'd look it up.
No, it's worthwhile doing. So if this like 12 million units sold to date kind of thing, then, or as of early last year, the last time I could get figures for, then another one of those would be really helpful right now.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
who knows? Maybe I'll be a happy person for it.
I was going to say,
haven't they just been doing to try to keep on fucking up the one they've got out now for you?
Yeah, I think a reset point would be nice for them, just to say, you know what, we're gonna hear some of their feedback and actually do something with it.
To continue on the train of best-selling PlayStation published games of all time, Marvel Spider-Man 20 million, God of War 19.5 million, Uncharted 4 16 million.
I was wrong.
Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe it was just that one game. It was like, and then I was like, the PlayStation 4. I was like, curious about best-selling PlayStation 5 games. And then we can move on to our final topic. I mean, the numbers are going to be pretty low, but wow. Marvel Spider-Man 2, 11 million.
Okay.
The next one down from that, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, 3.97 million.
That's a bit of a gulf.
There's a gulf. But I think Gran Turismo 7, was it a PS4 game? Or was
it's PS4 as well,
yeah. So it probably isn't on this list. Gran Turismo 7.
It sold 12 million as of February last year, I want to say.
Third best-selling game of the PlayStation 5, Elden
There you
Ring.
go. Nice.
According to this list I'm looking at right now.
That makes it even worse. It's just like, and you still won't give people a Bloodborne remaster or Bloodborne fucking 2? Like, seriously.
I bet you they're getting Bluepoint to do a Bloodborne remake now.
Hell yeah. I believe that 100,000%.
Yeah,
especially as they now have a past part own them and everything like that. Like, they'll just be like,
have those conversations with Miyazaki. Do
Yeah.
whatever you need to.
yeah. Like, hey, we'll fly you to Blue Point. We'll get the conversations going. Blah 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 blah. Just like they did an incredible job, to what I know, for Demon Souls.
They did.
Like,
Exceptional.
they've shown they can handle a Soulsborne like game with great gentle and heart, and give it the love it deserves. And so if they can do it with that, they can do it with Bloodborne.
I disagree. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they can. That's not like, I'm not disagreeing with the part where like Bluepoint would smash a Bloodborne remaster, whatever. I think if PlayStation have been like, break glass in case of emergency, get Bluepoint to remake something like Metal Gear Solid. That if we're in break glass territory, I think they would get them to remake Metal Gear Solid.
Not a bad shout.
I don't think it would be Bloodborne. As much as like there is like noise for a Bloodborne remake, and as much as like From Software Souls titles have like become more and more popular, like if I'm like sitting at PlayStation and it's like, damn, we need a fucking banger of a remake out of Bluepoint, Bloodborne's not even in my consideration.
Do you think that Konami is in the works of doing their own Metal Gear Solid remake, though?
I don't know, because
we've got Triangle coming out.
Well, the thing is that it was Bloober Team that remade Silent Hill 2, so I don't think they're against the idea of other studios remaking their own stuff. So I think like
just pay the license thing. Yeah,
if you've got like the greatest remake studio in existence right now, saying like, or like Sony saying, hey, we'll get these guys to remake Metal Gear Solid, I think you'd be fucking crazy not to do it.
And PlayStation have a great relationship with Kojima. They can keep them separated, keep them away from each other, and just say, yo, Konami, let's talk, let's remake it. You stay the fuck out of the way and just take in the revenue when the game releases. We're bringing in Kojima to speak to Bluepoint, and we're going to have a good conversation. You can stay out of the way and just earn your money.
Yeah. Do you want to print money? Because this is how you print money.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima's
Metal Gear Solid.
This ain't Jim Ryan speaking here, Kojima, Konami. This is him and Marco. This is it. We're going for it. Yeah. And like, aren't they doing they've got another exclusive coming from Kojima as well? that they didn't they announced last year.
Tactical espionage, film,
Yeah.
TV, fucking
and then
I don't know
Fizzant
what the fuck.
is
So it's like
Fizzant's the other one.
Let's
but
just
that's
finish
all
Death
of-
Stranding first.
Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Best name ever.
I'm gonna have a fucking stroke on my podcast one of these days.
I'm gonna laugh when you play it, and you're gonna be like, "It's game of the year, guys."
You think I'm playing it? Like fucking hell, I got way too much to play. I haven't been playing Elden Ring again. No, but I haven't done a fist run. Amy, you've played this game 7 times in a
Yeah,
row.
but the DLC opens so many new avenues in terms of weapon builds and things you can do.
Oh, those background blades look sick. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like fucking, they look like fun. Right. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Why I?
Right, let's do. This is gonna be like quicker than we did it last week. We're gonna do a fantasy critic topic. So last week's podcast, which mysteriously vanished into the ether with no sound, I have no mouth and yet I must scream. Was fantasy critic. Myself, Moody, Vitz, Russell, and Averill all sat down. We did a fantasy critic draft. It was a lot of fun, and then the podcast didn't come out or happen. So we're gonna quickly rerun that for everybody,
Yeah.
so they can follow along throughout the year to our fantasy critic hijinks. So a lot of big games got bid on in that first week between like the 2 podcasts. So what I thought we could do is if we just quickly go through everybody's drafted games with some commentary, if you so desire, and then we'll do the counter picks, which is how it worked. And I can see your lips moving.
Oh, I was unmuted there.
I thought you were doing a bit.
I was going to say something really inappropriate then. I'm not. Will get me seriously cancelled. No, are we just picking the games? Are we just telling the games of what we?
I'll read down Alfie's list then.
Yeah,
Amy
we'll
can
do the picks as they were last week, and then we'll do the counter picks, and then we'll do an update where it's like, hey, here's everything everybody bought.
Okay, that's all. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you.
Yes, that's where I was going with my explanation. And
Okay.
so yeah,
Yes. So Elf Daughter and their studio, Snuggle Studios, they had Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game, because they have to say it's a Lord of the Rings game, as their first pick. They then went with Avowed, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, 2 Point Museum, and then Craft, Fantasy Merchant Simulator, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, Sugar Dew Island, Your Cozy Farm Shop, and Fantastic Haven. They were the drafts that they did
right.
when we did this whole thing.
I'm fucking fine. Like, pick your list. You gotta pick the games that you want. It makes me angry that the first game, apart from Hollow Knight, game, you could pick any game in like potential existence, and you went with Tales of the Shire, which, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. Maybe it's a banger. Nobody else was going to pick that game.
Yes.
You could have had that
half
one.
of her games
for $1.
Yeah,
could have
half
had
of her
that.
games no one was going to pick.
Like,
Yeah.
you could have locked in Doom, Mario Kart. You could have locked in anything you want, and I'm done. I got that off my chest now. That's my commentary. Like, list looks cool. She's gone for a theme. It's cozy and violent RPGs. Like, she's that's the theme that she's running with, and I respect it.
Amy, do you want to give Russ's list a rundown?
Yeah, I can do. Russ hasn't bought any games, so this will be easy. Russ picked Doom: The Dark Ages, Elden Ring: Night Rain, Fable: The First Berserker Kazan, Assassin's Creed: Shadows, Professor Layton and the New World of Steam, Atelier Lumia, The Alchemist
Nailed
of
it.
Memories and the Envisioned Land, and Crimson Desert. Which is a fucking
Shout out to their
solid
publisher
list.
name, On the Rise to Greatness.
Yeah,
So-
On the Rise to Greatness. I saw someone playing a demo of the first Berserker Kazan over the weekend, and actually it looks kind of cool. So I think this is a solid list,
Yeah.
which is unusual for us. Is
It
he
really
feeling
is.
all right?
He did good last year, so
He did pretty well last year, and like his goal is not to win. as he said last week, his goal is just to be third. Like he's
Not
just going to
last,
keep
yeah.
moving. He's just going to keep moving up that chin. He's coming for one of the three of us, but not all of the three of us. Probably me.
And then Moods is up next.
Yeah, my title name was Revenge of the Snakehead, as you know the theme I'm going for ever since I've been on this. For me, I started with the untitled next Mario Kart game. I locked that in straight away as soon as no one got to it. I've picked Civ 7, I've picked Citizen Sleeper 2, Metroid Prime 4, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Halloween. Halloween.
In Halloween, that's game, man. Fucking hell, let's go.
Rift of the Deco Dancer, Pokemon Legends ZA, and Hades 2. That was my first
Hades
picks.
2 requires a little bit of commentary. So for the rule set we have in this particular fantasy critic game, we had a conversation at the start to say, okay, early access, what the heck are we doing? So essentially there was two phases of early access. There were games which are currently in early access and whether they be eligible to be selected or not, and then games which are due to release in early access and whether they be eligible or not. After a long and protracted discussion, we kind of went with the same rules that we had last year, and then if it all went to crap, then we would make some changes for the next year.
Well, I think it was more just like last year we didn't understand the rules.
Yes.
Whereas this year it's like we knew what the crack was. So like Hades 2 has a 90 on OpenCritic. Doesn't count because it's still in early access. The game has to basically release out of early access to count for points in this fantasy critic.
Yes.
And so does any early access game. Also, Morg's dead.
Oh, nice. Jeez.
Yeah, Morg is dead now. Like I thought I would just throw that out there. This is the strongest list I think you've ever published.
Thank you.
From like
Yeah, it's got
your
a
first
19
drafts.
there.
Yeah. Funny when I was looking at this website last week, you can click a button that shows you like all of the stats for all of the seasons that we've done.
Oh, nice.
Your best year was 2022. Like not the first two that we did because we did those separately. So from 2022 when Vitz joined. When Joe Medforce did it and then Vitz joined the year later. But like 2022 was your best year.
What
Overall,
of what I picked?
Yeah, for like the scores that you got, and I think you're gonna do better this year.
I'm feeling pretty comfortable right now with what I have right now.
That first
even
day,
with what I've got further down and everything, which we'll get to later. But I'm feeling pretty comfortable.
That first day was making me feel a bit nervous.
Then it was my good self next for the publisher Pixel Popstars, because yes, I am shameless like that and all about the self-promotion. I opened my account with unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer. Then we went with Grand Theft Auto 6, Ghost of Yote, Split Fiction, which is the next game from Joseph Fares and their team, Wonder Stop, Metal Gear Solid Triangle, Snake Eater, and then one which breaks my heart. Because I had Earthblade, and I was so excited, dear listener. Amy was so annoyed at me that I managed to snipe Earthblade before they got a chance to pick it.
It was my next pick. It was literally the next game I was going to pick.
This week, we had the announcement from Extremely OK Games that, for healthy reasons, we will say, because it's the best course of action for them and their team, that Earthblade has been cancelled. It's a game that I was really looking forward to, the follow-up to Celeste, at least from that the same team kind of thing, an expanded team. Yeah. To hear it's not going to come out at all is obviously gutting, but as I said, there's a beautifully worded statement from them available on their website and across all the social media at this point kind of thing. Highly recommend you check that out, and I think that's a wonderful way to go about things. And then the last game I managed to draft was Mixtape. And you might be asking, dear listener, why the hell did you not pick Hades 2? Because the way the Snake draft worked in the order, I got to choose my last game before Moody did. And the honest reason, I forgot about the early access rules that we were doing because we spent such a long time talking
We
about
literally
it. At the start
talked
of the
about
episode.
it at the start of the episode.
I know, but that was ages ago by the time I got to pick the last one.
Yeah, it
and
was like an hour.
Yeah, and
Basically,
it was kind of
afterwards.
Yeah,
like,
but he's not us, Moody. He remembers things.
yeah, but
That's true. Like
me
he's
and
obviously
Elfie were on the same page that early access games shouldn't be eligible, which are currently in early access, because you know if they're great or not.
yeah,
Do you?
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Say so.
And yeah, so that's why Hades 2 isn't on my list.
See
but,
that Baldur's Gate
Mixtape
3
is the-
OpenCritic average when it was in early access was a lot lower than the OpenCritic access when OpenCritic number one it came out.
Yeah, but in this game of rolling the dice on games you don't know, which are going to be great and things like that.
Oh,
that
we're
was-
going to
that
talk
was-
about you rolling some dice later.
Yeah,
have
so
some-
Mixtape was my last pick.
I have some comments
Hold on,
about some of
hold
your
on.
pickups.
It was really funny that you had to get Amy to force through Grand Theft Auto
I did.
6 because for some weird reason it says that has got reviews when it doesn't.
I don't
Yeah.
know which points that it's actually got, but sure, why not?
Apparently
It
it
was just
already
really
has
funny.
reviews. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm DEI Interactive because
Hell yeah, best name out there.
I don't take anything seriously. And my picks this year, my first 8 picks I memed quite hard. So I took Hollow Knight Silksong as my lock in as the previous year's champion. Then I picked
King
Monster.
Cherry will release.
Monster Hunter Wilds was my next pick. Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist. Then Blueprints. Then Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Then Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Then Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. And finally,
Best name.
Deltarune.
Yes.
Because I'm just like, I get all the meme games. Why not? Let's do it.
And you've already started strong.
I have. Ender Magnolia came out. It's got an 89 on OpenCritic. I've played the first 3 hours of it. Feels very nice. Feels a very nice game to play.
I'm really confused by this game because on the tag it says currently in early access.
It was an early
But-
access, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is it no longer now?
No, it
it's
came
just on
out-
the tag. And if you click on the game name, it comes up tags currently in early access.
It only came out yesterday.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
chance update, yeah.
But yeah, it was in early access for a year.
That is good too. Takes forever to update itself.
And that was a lineup for all of our publishers. And then
of
the league
bids.
actually started, and we were able to make some bids.
And then Amy woke up the next day and was like, what the fuck is going on?
Because we be bidding, everybody. We be out here bidding. Should we go through some of the titles that we picked up?
Let's go through in reverse order. Mix
Sure.
it up a bit. So like I bought 4 games. I think one of them was quite hotly contested, but I don't think anyone
I
went
bid on
for.
Promise Mascot Agency.
Yeah, I don't think anyone went for any of my other games. My first one was
I did not.
is an indie game called Consume Me, which got nominated for 5 IGF awards, like 2 days before. 2 days before the podcast. So I was like, fuck it, I'll spend $1 on that. Promise Mascot Agency, super excited. I love Paradise Killer. Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter, and The Legend of Heroes, Trails Through Daybreak 2. Both of the previous games reviewed pretty well on OpenCritic, and I was looking at my lineup and I was like, oof, I've got nothing coming out in the next few months. I better sort that out.
Now, hang on. How come The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak 2 has a released internationally tag on those?
Because it was released in Japan. And I tried to
I
look
thought
up.
those were excluded. Those are excluded.
No. Those have never been
No, they're
excluded.
not. They've never been.
Oh, okay.
Because otherwise,
I'm thinking
like,
of a different league.
things like Persona 5 wouldn't have worked. But no. Yeah. I if it helps, Vitz, I tried to look up the Japanese reviews and I couldn't understand any of them. Gave up.
That's fair. It's trying to go through for bits
I was
here.
like, did this review well in Japan?
Uh-huh.
No idea.
Okay, and then let's go to my list. So
Yes,
I
let's go to
spent-
your list.
I spend a little bit of money.
Let's go to
He's
your
got
list.
some
Vitz.
words.
I've got some questions I want to
All
ask.
right. So, what we did, listener, is we shot for the stars. So my first game is Resident Evil 9 unannounced.
Which I would like to
Parentheses.
remind you, on that very evening that you must have put that bid in, I said
Yeah.
I was going to meme pick Resident Evil 9.
So, yeah, it was kind of rattling around in my brain. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to spend too much money on this. And if it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, then it's fine at the end of the day.
I'm not going to need to spend much money on this because no one's going to be fucking crazy enough to outbid me.
I think it'll be announced, but I don't think it's coming this year.
We'll see. We'll see.
When I saw it on the list, I was like, Elfie, what are you doing? So,
speaking of, unannounced new Forza Horizon game was my next one.
what's did you hit your head after
Just
we finished the
in
podcast?
case. Just in case, because everybody hates Forza Motorsport, and Fable may or may not be hidden this year. I imagine Turn 10 has enough people in there in Playground Games to spin up multiple teams and things like that.
I was going to say
Yeah, they've
this
got
is a
two
lot of
teams.
studio.
They've got two teams. Yeah.
Well, that'd be why then. And I think this could be one that shadow drops. Now, was I disappointed that it wasn't announced today in the Xbox Developer _Direct? Yes, I was. Having said that, I still have hope in my heart because I'm optimistic like that.
So
Well,
to
it's
be
still June, so
to be clear, and again, it's why I'm like I have questions.
Sure.
You think that Playground Games is going to release are planning to release 2 games this year? Yes.
Well, no. To be fair, I think Fable's going to get bounced next year.
I mean, sure. Like that's why I worded it where I was like planning to,
Yeah.
not actually.
Yeah.
Like I think Fable's not coming out this year either. But like the plan is at Microsoft HQ. Yeah. Okay. That answers my question. Please continue.
Because if GTA 6 gets bounced next year because they decide to delay it, then everything's going to be Forza.
That could be an interesting winter. I think we'll have a lot of podcast discourse about broken games if that happens.
We sure will. Up next is Slay the Spire 2,
Interesting pick.
which I didn't pick up for. I think that was a pretty penny that I spent, but I probably didn't need to spend a pretty
No,
penny.
like the thing is, like
I was thinking about it. But
I was gonna draft it,
Mm.
but then I was like, oh, it's only planned for early access. I was like, otherwise it's guaranteed.
So
points.
whether it hits 1.0
yeah,
release,
it's like
who
it's
knows at
guaranteed
this point,
points
yeah.
if you get that. Like
Yeah.
the next one, I'm mad at myself for letting you get. I didn't even bid on it.
Yeah, Clair Obscure Expedition 33. I figured, why the heck not?
which does now have a release date.
From a production value point of view, this game looks like it should be getting all the points, but we will see how it feels on the sticks and how it received critically at the end of the day, kind of thing. But and then the next one, FBC Firebreak, which just looked like an interesting pickup in terms of I don't think anybody else bid on it.
No,
And yeah,
I-
and why the heck not? If it we still don't have a release date quote unquote for this one, but if it lands, it lands. And then my last pickup was Ultimate Sheep Raccoon. So this is the follow up to Ultimate Chicken Horse, and yeah, this game looks amazing, and I hope that it launches this year.
me too. Just so I can play it. Fucking let's go.
Yeah,
Ultimate Chicken Horse is like the most fun I've had on a stream. I've asked all my questions. all of my questions were related to his first 2 games.
Okay, for me, I got a hyper light breaker.
Touchy subject for me at the minute.
yeah.
That's a touchy subject for me at the minute.
There was an early access review, which boy,
I'm getting a lot of pushback on that Bluesky post.
I don't know why.
You're getting pushback on a
I will
Bluesky,
talk
of
about
course.
it later. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. I took a bet on this one. I got it for $1, so it didn't cost me much. Project Century.
is
I
this-
thought, you know what? If this comes out, I think that because they've got a game this coming out soon, Like a Dragon. So that leaves them right open for the end of the year. And I was thinking, you know what? Let's go for it. Project Century. They showed it.
Oh, fuck.
You forgot about this game, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought when I saw it, I was like, that's that Panzer Dragoon.
No.
Like spiritual successor to Panzer
Yeah.
Dragoon. It's the
Yeah,
fucking
no.
RGG Yakuza. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
This comes out this year. I feel like I'm locked in for some points there.
Maybe I should watch the Game Awards.
Can I ask, if it's still referred to as Project Century, does that
Yeah.
give you hope or concern that it's going to come out this year?
Fine. It's Japan. Octopath Traveler was called Project Octopath for so long. Like,
I get that, but this is something different. This is a different shooter. This is a different kettle of fish.
For me, right now, we don't know what else they've got cooking up right now. So for me, this screams out that they have 2 games, and for me, it's Like a Dragon, Pirates, Yakuza, and Halloween. That's coming out literally soon, in February, I believe. And then you've got this. No, apparently not. And you got this, and you got Project Century. I think will fall late this year.
If you sign up for one of them,
I got it for $1. It's not going to cost much if if it says no. It's not going to hurt me whatsoever personally. I just was so no one sniped it from the.
I would have
obviously
known what the fuck it was
from the pics. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to throw it in there. I was saying to myself, no one knows this game whatsoever. No one knows what it is. They've completely forgotten about it. Amy never watched the Game Awards, so she had fucking no idea.
Well, no, I saw the trailer for it and I was like, cool, I'm interested. But like when I saw the name on the list, I thought it was like some Panzer Dragoon. I don't know why. I just think my brain associated it with like a spiritual successor to Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah, no. Next I've got is Mouse PI for Hire.
Yeah,
I think this looks good. Could be some pretty decent. Next I've got Arc Riders for that. After that, I've got a game that I've had for the last 3 years, and that is Replaced. I think it will come this year. I think it will hit this year. I know the companies in Ukraine and everything like that and whatnot, but I do believe I just have an England in my gut. I think it'll hit this year. And lastly, I took a bet on this one. I loved the last one. I had a lot of fun with it. And I know it's a completely different developer, so it does make me question a little bit, but Little Nightmares 3. In
December 2021, Playwing Limited released Century, Age of Ashes. Fuck you. You might have just lost me fighting secret, you bastards. Sorry, please continue.
Oh, it's all good. I think
I'm feeling
really
pretty strong.
Pickups.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I think those some decent pickups. Russ hasn't managed to pick anything else up, I don't think.
He did. He tried to get a couple of games, but he failed.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not for lack of trying kind of thing.
No, like he would have just seen the list and been like, shit, I better try and bid on some of this stuff. He tried to get Tales of Iron 2 from me. So did just about everybody. And then he tried to get one of Elfie's games. And Elfie went fucking hard on...
Elfie got one of my games.
I tried to go for the Outer Worlds too, but Elfie for Snuggle Studio, they picked up Tiny Bookshop, Pixelshire, Coffee Talk Tokyo, which is the one that I know I bid on. I also bid on Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake, and I also bid on the Outer Worlds 2, so I imagine they don't have too much budget left.
Did I cause a bid war with my pickup of Dragon Quest last year?
Yes, I think so.
Because I did not...
That was the one I went for, Dragon Quest. I was saying... Well, I fucking should. I was saying to myself, I should have went for it last year, and I just kept holding off, and then Amy took it, and then I was thinking, well,
while I was sat on the couch next to him.
Yeah, she did. And then I slapped on this one, and then Elfie took this fucker. I was like, what the fuck?
I did 3 last year, and it worked out really well for me. I saw 1 and 2 come up on the list. I hadn't bid for it, and I was like, Moody's bid like $1 million for this. Like, there's no, like, I was doing like a cost benefit analysis in my head where I was like, I'm gonna have to bid some serious cash for it. I don't want to put that much cash down for it. So I was the only one that didn't bid for it, and I'm like, did I do that?
I can't remember how much I bidded for it, but I'm pretty sure I put a like.
Elf got it with 15. You went 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. I went reasonably high.
Pixel Pop Stars went 8, and On the Rise to Greatness actually didn't go for it. He just went for Tales of Iron. So, my mistake. Ross didn't bid for it either. But yeah, I thought you had done it, and I was just like, no, he's gonna outbid me. There's no way I'm gonna get this. Not after last year's shenanigans.
Shall we rattle through the counterpicks that we've done, and then we can go on to the other game that we play each and every week?
All of Elfie's games got counterpicked.
Yes, that is the moral of the story.
Basically.
LV counterpicked Hollow Knight Silksong, which I don't think is a terrible
Great idea.
play. Yeah.
Because that was the other rule we have. We all have a super drop. We all have a golden bullet. We can all delete something from our list if it gives us a lot of negative points.
Russ, they went and counterpicked Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game, which I think is a strong counterpick, to be fair. Because this game is either going to get embraced or it's actually going to come out and it's going to be crap. One of the two.
I hope not. It looks like a game I would like to play. So I hope it's like good. But like it's that weird thing of like just because a game doesn't get like high OpenCritic averages doesn't mean it's good. Like,
oh yeah, 100%, yeah.
The Alone in the Dark rule. I'm calling that.
Moody, which game do you counterpick?
I counterpicked Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Preview embargo dropped today.
Yeah, I don't think it's going down well.
Nope.
Which is fantastic for me.
It's more Assassin's Creed by the looks of things.
Fantastic for me. Like, even if this is just low 70s, I don't care. That's fine, Marbury. That damage is easily going to be mitigated by the other. Like I said when I was saying it, high 90s, high 90s, 80s, all that. I'm good, baby. I'm good. That's what I feel like with this game. I feel for the team for this.
I think you're going to get Silent Hill 2'd.
You think I'm going to get Silent Hill 2'd?
Yep.
With the backlash that game has got, I would love to be Silent Hill 2'd again.
Now I'm not putting a pizza bet on it because I have too many pizza bets with you going right now. Actually, no, fuck it, because this one will come off in like, 2 months? Fuck it, I'll pizza bet you. I think you're going to get Silent Hill 2'd.
You want to pizza bet me, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I think you're going to get Silent Hill 2'd with this one. I think.
Okay, so what do you mean by this?
Yeah,
I think 80s. I'll go the top half of the 80s, 85 and above.
Okay. So anything below, I win.
84 or lower, yeah.
Okay.
On release day, like I'm not watching that number go up and down for the rest of the year, constantly going backwards and forwards with pizza.
I think it should be on for when we record.
So yeah, so that when we announce the OpenCritic head-to-head score.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Sweet.
I also cherry picked from the Elfie list.
I mean,
I went Fantastic Haven.
I was gonna go for either one of the two that you picked. I'll say that right now. For that's what I was gonna aim for, but yeah.
Yeah, I went for Sugar Dew Island. I've not heard of it. Like, I feel like it's gonna be one of those games where it's like, it comes out, it doesn't get enough official reviews for OpenCritic, and it's just not got anything. Like my thought process for picking it, for counter picking it, wasn't I think the game's gonna suck. Lol, it's just I don't think it's gonna get an OpenCritic score. So
yes,
and I'm not trying to do hey, I want to try and get some points from some negative reviews. I'm like, no, fuck that. I've tried that before. It never works for me. I am just gonna sit here safely getting my 0 points. Thank you very much.
The thing is, Russ made some decent calls this year, which means I can't just pick
I know, right? Like, it's like, God damn it, Russ, be worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that, friends, wraps up the Words Back Games 2025 Battle Royale Fantasy Critic League.
Yes.
That's the only game we play on this podcast, so is it, Ames?
It isn't. We also play a little game every week called OpenCritic Head-To-Head, which is a game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Whoever guesses closest to the score gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. A couple of weeks ago, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of 2 games. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Moody, you guessed it would get an 80. I guessed it would get an 85. It's an 83. The time of recording, it has an OpenCritic average of 78, which means Moody gets a point. I watched a Donkey Kong speedrunner I know play this, and it's like, apparently it's not a great port.
It's not great, yeah.
It's a legendary game, but the port hasn't been ported very well. Which is a shame.
Like a Wii port,
it's the Wii port, but there's movement. Like they've put some weird stuff in with like movement and stuff, and it's just like I was watching him play it, and I was like, oh, that's a shame. We also try to guess the OpenCritic average of Dynasty Warriors Origins. Moody, you guessed it would get an 80. I guessed it would get a 77. Vitz, you guessed it would get a 79 at the time of recording. It has an OpenCritic average of 81, which means Moody gets the point.
He's won it all. He's
The
won it already.
the fact that you started strong on OpenCritic and I've started strong on Fantasy Critic is really not putting the rumors to rest that you can't win both at once.
Yeah. We never.
I'm hearing good things about Dynasty Warriors though. Like I've been actually thinking, I'm right now. I'm hardcore and Like a Dragon.
Yeah,
Yakuza Like a Dragon right now. But like I'm hearing decent things about that. So yeah, I might have a look at it maybe in the future. But we'll see.
I mean, my
Like I've
gaming's
never really
set.
touched them, but yeah, I'm hearing like it's pretty decent.
I tried one once and I was like, Musu games not my bag. So
Yeah, I tried a Gundam version of it when I was watching a lot of Gundam, funny enough, around that time. And
Yeah, I needed the Persona 5 skin to get me into that with Strikers.
And,
like even the Legend of Zelda, like Age of
Hyrule
Calamity,
Warriors,
Hyrule Warriors, that was it.
I tried that one and I was like,
I couldn't even, because I knew that I wasn't into those types of games to begin with, and then it's how is it going to perform on Switch? That was the other consideration I made as well.
Oh yeah, because the second one was on Switch, wasn't it? So I was like, the first one was a Wii U game. Very good console. This week we got 4 games. We could have had more. We got 5 games, sorry. We could have had more, but I decided to limit us to 5. The first one we're going to guess, Eternal Strands. This is the action RPG Mike Laidlaw
out. Yeah.
from BioWare.
Steam. It looks amazing. It looks like it could be really fun. It's doing some interesting things with the environment as well. In a kind of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom style, in terms of if you set grass on fire, that then catches fire to other neighboring grass and that can damage enemies and what have you. I think this is going to get an 82.
Fair enough. Moody. Former Dragon Age boss. A new studio putting this game out.
Interesting.
Yeah. It would probably be on my radar to play when it comes out, if not for the fact that like end of Magnolia immediately is followed by Citizen Sleeper for me. So I was like, I'm back to back in those games because I'm super excited for both. But I'll keep an eye on it, see how it goes.
Interesting. Is this a single player game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's full of baddies as well.
If
the
you
number of hot people in this game, off the scale.
just for your future reference, if you go onto the Steam page of any game, and you know where it's got the tags like action adventure, combat adventure, if you click the plus sign, it'll have multiplayer listed in the tags if it's a multiplayer game, and also be just underneath.
Oh, it's female protagonist woke game. Jesus, well, fuck this game.
I should get it. I should get it on Fantasy Critic. I am DEI Interactive after
all. This looks like really decent and everything. That's it looks really canny. I'm gonna go a little higher than Vitz. I'm gonna go an 84.
I'm gonna go with a 79.
Nice.
I could go higher. I'm not going to try and sandwich myself between the two of you. So it's like, do I go? It's like I'm on that game show like from the 90s. It's like, do I go higher or lower? Like,
Price is Right rules. That's it.
Yeah.
Higher or lower.
The next game is the Stone Madness. This is the next game from the developers of Blasphemous. And Blasphemous 2, a real-time tactical stealth strategy game set in an 18th century Spanish monastery.
Yeah. Not necessarily sure this game is for me, but I think it's going to do really, really well. I would like to go with an 89, please.
Sorry, what was that?
89. Thank
you.
My apologies there.
That's all right. You were like, I would like to go with, and all I heard was, oh, I was like, oh, Moody's seen it. I was gonna tell you about this actually because you liked that game that came out by
you like that game, Moody?
Shadow's Gambit, the one you kept recommending me, and it looks a bit like Shadow's Gambit.
Yeah.
I heard you like those video games.
You like games.
You like those video games, Moody.
And just for the record, this is also single player.
Yes.
I think we started.
We have anything against multiplayer. I just want to state this. We don't.
I think we started a new running joke for 2025.
I'm unclear whether this game is stacked with baddies as well.
I'm gonna go 85. Oh, wow, this looks really good.
Go higher then. Oh, she typed it in now.
Nope, it's done. We're in.
No, it's all good. I'm happy with 85. Oh, wow.
I think it's about to get bid on Fantasy Critic. I'm gonna go 87. I am gonna jam myself in between you two.
There we go.
Because I think it's gonna review well as well. I think there's an audience amongst game reviewers for this type of game. Next up, we have Tales of Iron 2: Whiskers of Winter. This is a sequel to a Souls-like. That did quite well for itself.
I mean, it's on your list, right?
It's on my list.
Mm-hmm. I would like to go with an 89, please.
Cool. I hope so.
Yeah. For your sake, I do, yeah.
Yeah. That'd be nice. That wasn't what I was targeting for Fantasy Critic, but I'm taking it.
83.
83. Everyone's copying everything. I'm going to guess. No, it's fine. It's fine. I thought it was funny. I'm going to go for an 80. So when I bid on it, I was like, I'm going to be happy enough if this gets me 10 points. So that's good. Next up. Also, Moody, this one is a single player game as well.
All right. I get it, guys. I get it, Amy.
Next up, we have Sniper Elite Resistance, which is a multiplayer entry in the Sniper Elite franchise.
There you go.
That's why I made the joke.
We don't hate multiplayer games, people.
This is I don't know, because the first thing that you read on the Steam store description is the pre-order bonus for the Resistance.
That's always a strong start, right?
So it's like it's a multiplayer game of some kind with extra.
I go with a 76, please.
You sure can. NA, big fan of the Sniper Elite series over here.
You get to follow the bullet as it goes into a person's testicle.
Yeah, you get to shoot Nazis in the testicles in slow motion.
Exactly.
And with how popular Nazis are these days, like, we gotta give them the Jews for that. But
Wait, was that did you say what you said? I think you said
what?
Never mind. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Don't worry about it.
I'm joking. Okay. If you think I said something bad, I'm joking. Okay. But no, it's
You said juice, right?
Juice.
Yeah.
What do you think I said?
Jews, but he sounded like something else.
The dues, I think I said.
Jews.
If I said Jews, I apologize.
Okay.
Honestly, but I'm pretty sure I said dues.
Yeah, that's why we were clarifying.
I'm pretty sure I said dues there.
Yeah, it sounded like you said something else.
Okay,
but no, that's fair. That's fair. Yo, Jews,
no.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said dues. If it says it in the... that's what it sounds like. If you think I said it, I do apologize. That was not my intention.
You said Jews. Yeah, but you said it in a Northern English Jews. I get it because that's how I say it as well. That's how I say it.
I'm Northern.
But it was just like you'll probably look back and see me and Vitz both just suddenly like lock up. Be like, what did he just say?
What did he just say? No, Jesus! Oh my God,
Jews.
Apologies. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Okay,
give them their flowers is what we say next time.
Go back to this game. 75.
Oh my God. 75. You know what? I think there's a market.
88 never fails.
I think there's a market out there right in this moment in time in history for people to play a game where they get to shoot Nazis in the testicles in slow motion.
Yeah, but we're not ranking guessing the sales figures. We're guessing
I think the reception of this game is going to be better than it would have been if it had released like 6 months ago.
I got you.
So I'm going to go with an 80. Like I think people are in the mood for a game where you kill Nazis for some reason.
I mean, who could think why?
And last up, we've got Citizen Sleeper 2: Starward Vector.
This game has everything going for it. I think it's gonna get an. Okay, let's go for 89.
89. Moody. Are you gonna give this game its flowers?
92.
It's not a bad shout.
Yeah, finally broke the 90s barrier. Shit, I was gonna go. Let me look something up real quick.
It's an 84. If you're going what I think you're doing, it's an 84 on OpenCritic, the original.
Do I play safe or do I play full Amy?
Amy, you said you were going to go full Amy all the time on these this year, so
Full send, my friend.
94.
There you go.
Sending it.
respect. Either way, either score does incredibly well for me.
Yeah. Like you're just sitting here going, yeah, fucking hope so.
There's no complaints.
Fucking hope so.
I already need to catch up with Amy for some reason.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need to catch up. Don't worry about that.
That's what you said all last year. Whoa. Anyway,
I know.
I'm looking forward to playing
I've got 4 games coming out in the next month and a half, so I'm all good.
I'm looking forward to playing this. So, right, into Magnolia, straight into Citizen Sleeper 2. I'm having a great, like, January, beginning of February time. Like, fucking, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad End of Magnolia came out when it did, because if it didn't, I'd be playing Elden Ring again.
That's not a bad thing.
It's not, but, like, I want to experience new things as well. Like, I could, right? I reckon I could play Elden Ring for 6 months without getting bored. Like, before I was like, I really need something new now.
100%.
Which would be interesting, but also let's not do that. Also, Vitz remind me about the pizza bet about Assassin's Creed Shadows. In fact, I'll write it down. I've got a note. I've got a note. Yeah, I was going to say
85.
actually, I made a note out of it.
85 and higher, you win.
Is this the year of the pizza bet? We're just going to be making non-stop pizza bets.
So this the thing is, though, for the last 3 episodes, we've done pizza bets. Are we doing a pizza bet every episode?
Well, if we are, I think
That's a whole lot of pizza.
I think Vitz needs to step
a lot
up.
of pizza.
He needs to step in with a pizza bet.
Just so you know, Amy, if I win, I'm calling you up. Say, "Hi, Amy, I need this amount for this pizza, please."
Look, hey, I'll pay for a pizza. That's the bet. Like, but don't fucking go crazy with this shit. I bought a 36-inch pizza. Like, yo, I'm not making money. I just bought Elden Ring again.
64-inch pizza, Amy.
64-inch, like the Nintendo 64. I put Italian sausage on it because of Mario.
So whatever score Assassin's Creed getting, that's the size of the pizza.
Oh, fuck off. I'll end up with an 85-inch pizza. Be in that motherfucker for a month.
I will cook up some pizza bets that we can do. Don't worry.
Oh God. I mean, we have to do a Summer Games Fest pizza bet now. Like,
Yes.
damn. Okay.
A woman won't be on stage.
We can't make them too easy.
It's too easy, man. You've already won.
Won that one. Anyway, I believe Moody,
representation with Muppets.
I believe it's your time to shine, and given the amount of pizza bets we're doing, you might be shining with Grease before too long.
Oh, bye. Hello, everybody. Today, be proud. You made it. Another day is behind you. Another week has passed. Now jump up high, high five that sky, and while you're up in that air, pile your head into the sand and stick it in there for 4 years, because you're going to need to do that. Live long and prosper, people. See you in 4 years.
See you later.
I think it's naive to think it'll be 4 years, but sure.
One catastrophe at a time.
That's true.